way. One night, you Vida Bella Santos way. Judah Bella Jana was that the way. Did you so what's the war? And the one brother here. But when you're brother in the blood, Osana, 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 no, I saw why you more point the way I was. I don't do I'm gonna pay Janet. Where my Annie Janet? What's up, Mama?
May God bless you.
Yeah, guys, another brand new edition of Voice of Sinoe coming your way again. Please invite your friend to invite your friends, and so that we can have another wonderful, wonderful show here. Don't go away. Share with your friends as you get on this show. It's another brilliant show coming your way. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you following Voice of Sinoe here in the diaspora with ESOTERIC coming to you from these United States, from the state of Maryland. And we are having, again, another wonderful show coming your way this afternoon with my panelists, esteemed panelists from Liberia. They will be here shortly so we can get the show on the way. As you get on, please do us a favor by sharing the link for us. You can also go to our YouTube page. Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora is our YouTube page. All right, and just subscribe. Again, we're going to be covering major topics this afternoon. We're going to be asking some tough, provoking questions as usual. But one of the things that is killing our country is the scourge of corruption. Corruption has been killing our country since its foundation. And that's one of the questions we'll be tackling today. How can we mitigate, if not eradicate, corruption in Liberia? That's one thing we're going to be talking about. But before we get the show on the way again, let me our audience a little bit. Those that are joining us, we want to say appreciate your presence so very much. And besides what I just talked about, we'll be talking about the training stand-up between CDC and the Liberia National Police. We're going to be going into it. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Let's play Queen of traditional music. Yeah, we'll be right back. You know what that means? Everything has time. They will continue. Yeah, this is Voice of Sinoe time right now, so call your friends so they can participate. Yeah, the question is, why is it that the young people in Liberia, all the time they are in a political militarism. They are political militants. All the time, the young people are gathering and they are politically rallying all the time. What is going on? Is it because they are jobless? Because the economy, the country has nothing to do? That is why they. Is it because they are idle? To put it that way. We're going to be analyzing why is it that the prevalence of agitation, political activities in Liberia is on a basis.
Rule for President Tindran Wablo, Radar Story, Veronica Kata, a little cold. These are doing queer. Give me some instrumental OJ. Manimo, Original David, what's all good? Hey, Petra Jala, what's all good? Nina Queen, Playa de Diana Ways, the Diana Popping and the Diana Popping on the way. Soon I'm with it. They're always killing you. They were continuing, they were continuing, they were continuing, they were continuing. They were continuing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sinoe County Premier Platform. With Doug Saipo, the Esoteric, and the crew. It's a brand new edition of the show, and we are happy as usual to be here with you to have a conversation to discuss trending issues. Both in the diaspora and in Liberia. And so those that are on the vibration of my voice at this point, I want to say thank you ever so much for joining me. We ask you to share the show for us. We also beseech you to subscribe to our YouTube page. We have a growing YouTube page as well, or channel. And you can go there and subscribe to the show. Hit the notification button, and you will be notified when we publish a new video, which we do on a regular basis. All right. Again, my co-host and panelists will join me shortly. We made an announcement. Today we are having a guest, but again, things happening around. People got stuff to do, and our guests are traveled out of coverage area. So unfortunately, he cannot be with us today, and we have negators. Other people say negatus. Joshua Ben, our guest today. He's a geoscientist, geologist in Liberia. Joshua Ben with us to discuss the sea erosion in Sinoe County and to give us some geoanalysis, but unfortunately he's not here with us today. But we always have contingency plan, just in case our guest doesn't show up, we always have backup plan. And so we still have something to improvise with today to discuss on the platform. All right. Before my guests they get here, let me not my guest, but my co-hosts before they join the show. Let me do something quickly here to share something with us. Let's go to the computer and I will share something with us just to, I don't want to. All right, no, I don't want to play the music now, but I just wanted to do a quick shout out to one or two persons that celebrated their birthday. And so I just wanted to do a quick shout out. The first person I want to do a shout out to is Brother Mola Panto. Yeah, Mola is a good senior brother. He's a nice gentleman. Since he came to the United States and he got to know me, Mola has taken to me. He has been reaching out to me every time to give me some pieces of advice and to encourage me to do what I'm doing, that which is positive, of course. And so yesterday, Mola celebrated his birth anniversary. And being the spokesperson of the elders and the ancestors, the voice is Sinoe in the diaspora, I'd like to use this opportunity to say happy belated birthday to Mola. He is one of the brains within the United Cyprus Association in Americas. One of the guys who is helping the Myers Money administration to make sure that things are done for our people in Liberia. He is one of the architects beyond the policies and those different things that the organization is operating on. And so, Mola, I want to say happy birthday to you on behalf of my wife, Madam Freeman Bolu. I want to say thank you for your support to us and your support as well to the community. That's how we ought to utilize our education. The man has a progressive credential. The man, he's an apologist, or if you like, a disciple of the great liberation fighter in Liberia, Dr. Fambule. He was nurtured by Dr. Fambule. So when you listen to the man, you hear the militant rhetoric, the philosophy of the progressives in Liberia. He is passionate about helping the hoi polloi, the poor people in our country. He is one of those guys when looking at the state of the country currently, he gets dejected, he gets sad, because he thinks that the bourgeois culture that the progressive fought for years in the country, we have the resuscitation of the same culture in the country. And so it makes Mola sigh. It also makes me sigh. And that's what I'm here to do my part and to speak to the ills, to those things that are affecting our community, our country, and our county. So for me, I don't look at, I try to get my house in order first before I make a transition to the national. So periodically I talk about national issue, but exclusively this channel was created to make sure that Sinoe County is in order. So I hold Sinoe, the leaders and the non-leaders, accountable in Sinoe County, just the same way that I expect them to hold me accountable. So when we hold each other accountable, that way we'll watch our backs and we'll make sure we do the right thing. I think somebody once defined integrity as doing the right thing when nobody's looking. And that's what we want to do. What are somebody's looking at? Also, what are somebody's not looking at? We must always do that which is right for our country. And that's what Mola Panto believes in. So, Mola, as you celebrate your birth anniversary, we want to say happy birthday to you. I also want to do a shout out to Pastor Henry Balayan. Pastor Balayan, I never knew him before, but as you live on this spherical ball we call the earth, you meet people along the way. So my wife, she has a circle just the same way I have my circle. And so when we met and we decided to get married, Pastor Henry Balayan was one of the guys who came, one of the religious ministers that came to officiate the wedding. I mean, since that time, we have been, so to speak, a family. His wife as well is a beautiful, wonderful, a great soul, and they have been quite supportive to my wife and I. So we want to say happy birthday to Pastor Henry Balayan. We wish you many more years. You stay long on earth, and to make sure that the lost souls, those that are inundated with sins, will be cleansed of their iniquities, and so that they can go to heaven. But for some of us, we want to stay on this earth. Because understanding the teachings of Jesus, he said, when you are praying, say, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thou kingdom come. He did not say thou kingdom go to heaven. So we are here. Some of you that are going to heaven, make sure when you're leaving, give your property, the title to us, the houses that you had, the beautiful mansion. Make sure they are paid off. I will be paying all our laws. So make sure your properties are paid off. You give me so I can start my real estate business here. But jokes aside, again, want to say happy birthday to Pastor Balayan. He's a great man. He came to support us during our wedding. They are still supporting his wife. Again, he's a wonderful person. So we want to say happy birthday to Pastor Balayan. I wish you many more happy returns. Now, again, as I wait for my co-panelists to join me here, we got to get the ball rolling because time is of the essence. That's why Liberia, it is why it is, because we do not respect time. We think time should wait for us, and time does not wait for any man. So being somebody who is in the West, and especially those of us that when you have to go to work, you got to go. If you don't go, you'll be penalized. You might lose your job. So those things, maybe they don't apply in Liberia. So we don't take time seriously. But now, before we get into one of the major issues that we want to discuss today, let me just warm up with something here. Our community here in the U.S., the Sapo community, it is fragmented because some of us, we decided to do that which is right. We try to depart from the old culture of corruption, of suppressing others, especially when people gave their hard-earned resources and you just eat them. So we decided to stand up to the plate, which we shall still continue. And people get infuriated, they got incensed, they get angry, and they decided to fragment the community. And so you see, when you establish something in confusion with anger, guess what? You are not thinking about that thing rationally. You are not putting more, because anything that is done in anger, it does not last long because you're not building a house on a solid foundation. All right, let me bring my co-host on here. Sagisha just joined me. Hey, Sagisha, welcome on board.
Well, let me say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our listeners. It's good to be here today again. I mean, to discuss some of those cross-cutting issues, especially those that matter to our county, to our country, and to the world at large. I'm ecstatic to share the platform with you. This we say we will do. We have level of objectivity, sincerity, and dedication. How is the United States of America?
Um, sorry for that. The United States is fine, at least from where I am. You know, it's a big country, so things can be fine on your side, and you don't know what is going on the other side. But at least from my angle, things are fine. How is Liberia?
Well, we are here. I mean, this is our country. This is our patrimony, the country that we cannot be deported from. We are here and just managing our expectation. In fact, that is the government. I mean, code, or we should say the government agenda. Everybody should manage their expectation.
Okay. Yeah, so before you got on, I was just trying to warm up a little bit with training development here in the US, especially the Sapo community. So I was just trying to talk about it before you got on. So it has to do with the I don't know whether you're familiar with the USAA, the Sapo Association in Americas. It was a vibrant organization, still working though. It's still on course, but Abraham Lincoln said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." Right, and so the friction that came, it weakens the organization. And so there's a group that defected. They got angry because some of us who held them accountable for not managing the people's money properly, for taking $90,000 from the people's account, who spoke on those things. And it's also someone that got angry. Through anger, they established an organization called SADA. So suggestion, like I said, if you establish something, if you don't think about it properly and you just do it angrily, you are not doing it properly. The foundation is not solid. You're not putting a lot of thoughts into it. And so the guys got angry. They established their organization called SADA. And as we speak right now, one of the seasoned persons on board, the lady who was the chair for the board of directors, Madam Kamala Ross, recently during their convention, she publicly resigned from the board. All right. This woman has been a nurse for many years. She has been recognized at her work. She has earned a lot of accolades, because of her, her integrity. So they managed to bring the woman on board, but they are not doing things right. So Madam Kamala Ross got off. She said, "I don't want to be the board or director for you guys anymore." I don't know whether she's still a member of that. I don't know. I can speak to, but she resigned. And having this woman, if this woman can resign, sagacious, it speaks a lot of volume that there is an implosion pending. The organization is bursting in war when you have one of the backbones of the organization to get out. And then they brought Robert Tuba to be the board chair. I mean, that's disaster. If you replace a seasoned professional with a Robert Tuba, you know that the organization is in trouble. All right. And then they deputize the gentleman with another chaos, a lady who, has a record practically insulting everybody in the community, both men and women, the elders. I'm not exaggerating. I got audio to that effect. She insulted, say, for example, Elder John Black. That lady went ballistic on that old man. She practically, my mother part, she would cuss the woman like something, So this is the woman they are selected to be a co-chair to Robert Tuba. Robert Tuba, when you were with the USA, would give him money. He was the president of the Minnesota chapter. What he did first was the members of the board of directors, actually, they approved money for Mr. Drio to go to Liberia. Robert Tuba said money wasn't enough. Against the Constitution, he went and gave the president at the time, Drio, additional 3,000 unilaterally without the approval of the members of that chapter. He gave the money to the man. And then on top of that, the members put together, they say, oh, Robert, you have $500. Say you are going to Liberia, buy copy books, buy pencil for our children in Liberia so they can go to school. The men went there and ate the money. I mean, just to make a long story short, it's a synopsis of this. And this is the man that made chairman of the board of directors for the organization. And I was told anecdotally that the president, who is Dave Cooley himself too, were expelled from the USAA by the Iowa chapter members. He was the president then. And he went and did something shady, applied for some kind of money and put it in the organization account. And then later on he withdrew it. I mean, by himself and ate the money. So members got angry and expelled him. They say he's doing something shady, we'll get in trouble. And so this is the organization. So Robert Tuba, I'm not Robert Tuba, but Dave Cooley were told that the board approved some money without even telling him. And so there was he was threatening to resign. He got angry and went ballistic on the board chair, Mana Ross, and other things that are going on in our organization. So those of you that sympathizing with the SADA, that organization will not last long because a lot of things. Because again, when you start on shady foundation, you are bound to fall. And that's what's going on right now. Let me bring Tribal on here. Tribal just join us. Tribal, when you're situated, give me your thumb up. If you're ready to go, let me know so I can bring you on. You're kind of moving back and forth right now. All right, so Sigesha, that's the synopsis of what's going on in the U.S. Our community here. Things are not too good with the group on our side, SADA, that decided to have their own organization. All right, so just something that I wanted to, if you have any thought other than that, I don't expect you to, because you are not familiar with the politics here. Go ahead if you have something to say. If you don't, that's pretty fine.
So, like you rightly said, I'm not familiar with what's happening there in the United States. But again, like you said, I mean, the lady has resigned. Though I wasn't told what led to her resignation. I don't know whether she might have stated what led to her resignation in her resignation letter. But again, I have not gotten a copy of her resignation letter. But we hope for the betterment of the Cyprus community there in the United States of America. When something is done positively, for the benefit of Sinoe, then we Sinoeans back home, we are happy. When Sinoe gets in the news on a negative note, I mean, up there, we ourselves, we are saddened. We hope that things get better. Like you said, anything that is not done proper is not done at all, and it's bound to fail. And so let them put the broken pieces together. Let the right thing be done. Let the unity flow for the sake of Sinoe.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sad part of this conflict is that there were conflict before in the Cyprus community in the US here, but guess what? It did not extend back home. The new conflict, the bad thing about it, the guy extended it back home and it divided the people. That's the bad part of it. That's bad. You took your anger from here and carry it back home to divide our people. And you know that the people here, they depend on us. So whatever some of us here will go over there and say, I mean, some people just follow suit, Let me bring, let's see what else. Babo, are you there? You settled now? Hello? Yeah, he's still trying to settle down. Babo, are you hearing us? You are on mute. Yeah, he's still trying to settle down. Let's see when he gets settled. So that's the thing. That's the thing about what's going on here in our community. Let me try here again. Ed Baba. Unmute. Yes, sir. Your audio is. Let me see what I can help on this side. You are on mute, so we are not hearing you. You're still on mute. I can see the mute. The microphone is still on mute. Yeah, he's having some little technical issues over there, I think. I thought I could unmute him from my side, but I can't.
You are on mute, or Tribal. Unmute yourself.
I will kind of kick him off, and then maybe you'll come back. Let's see whether he can come back. Yeah, you're having some issues over there. Yeah, so that's it. Besides that, Sagacious, are you following the U.S. Election here? You know, the conventions that are going on here. The Republican had there, and now it's the Democratic convention. Are you following that?
Well, I've not been following. I've not been following the U.S. politics of late. I've had some engagement. I think we've been talking backstage. I've been running after one or two things. I have not really been following. I mean, the U.S. politics of late.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the convention, the Democratic convention is going on tonight. The nominee of the Democratic Party, which is Kamala Harris, will be officially accepting the nomination tonight. You know, so tonight is the night the vice presidential pick. Tim was accepted a nomination last night. It was wonderful. Yes, let's see how it plays out. It's a tight race, but right now the Democrat, they have a slight edge since the President Joe Biden got out of the race. Bravo.
Yeah, are you getting me now?
Finally.
Okay. That's Sagasha was trying to do that, but try to play my phone.
How you doing, man? Welcome aboard. How's Liberia? You're looking great. It's Sagisha, and so are you.
Thank you, Dad.
All right, so we're just doing a little reflection on before we get to our main topic, the U.S. politics. You know, the campaigning that's going on, the national convention of the Democratic Party going on right now. The vice president accepted nomination last night, or candidate, I should say. And then tonight will be the Senate bearer, Kamala Harris, who is the vice president of the United States, will be officially accepting the nomination of the party tonight. You know, yes. And I was telling Sagacious, it's a tight race. You know, Trump is still working hard here and his team, but the Democrats have a slight edge right now as with respect to the polls. You know, so when things stay as is, I mean, it will be a good news for the Democrat. For me, I consider myself an independent. I think both parties in this country, they are playing games with the people. But I mean, in terms of policy, sometimes I go with when it comes to taxes. I tend to go with the Republicans at times, but then when they cut taxes, they are doing it for themselves. You know, they are billionaires and they cut taxes for themselves, so they can't pay taxes. So they play those games. You know, and the Republicans are like, and the Democrats are like their policy on education, for example. At least they create room for people that can't afford to go to school, whereas the Democrats, they say everybody, the Republicans, they say, oh, everybody should pull themselves by the bootstrap, you know, and those sort of philosophy. But that's a little bit, if you're following, Bible, you can opine, if any.
Well, thank you. I take into consideration the time because I got 4:48 in the Liberia time right now, and the show should have long started by 4 o'clock.
Right.
We all have both some delays, and if we have to continue with the 4 topics here to conclude it, then I would think that is important.
All right, so fair enough. So I want us to start with the trending development in the country right now, which all of you are the cognizant with. So before we bring that, I'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora. And the breaking news we are getting right now, I don't know how it is before we got on air. It was still going on or it was subsiding. It was a stand-up between Liberia National Police and members of the Congress for Democratic Change, which I think, Tobabo, you are a member of. So, Tobabo, let's speak to that. What is going on between the security forces and your party?
Thank you. Right now, any information I gave you will be similar to what I was also given because I'm not in Monrovia currently. I'm in Sinoe.
Okay.
And but when the incident unfolded this morning, up to this afternoon, we placed calls to few friends who got in the CDC and few friends who got in Monrovia who are following the issue. And from all indications, first that nothing that erodes the rule of law is right. Absolutely, no matter who did that, whether it is the police, whether it's the CDC, but anything that erodes the rule of law cannot in any way be correct. So the question was, there were a lot of concern whether the police wrong, CDC wrong, CDC are wrong, but in this case, violence in itself is wrong. What the police have failed to tell us up to current is as to whether they did
Trouble, I'm not putting you up. The background is quite noisy, the kids, I think so. But
okay, so just give me a minute.
all right, guys. So just trying to make sure that we reduce the background noise a little bit. Yeah, he's a family man. Yeah. So guys, we're following the development in Liberia. The riot going on between the CDC and the Liberia National Police. And so since he is a sedition, I just thought we could talk about it a little bit before we go to something else. So we're going to play a little bit when he comes back. Let Twabo break him back yet. All right. Twabo.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You were talking and then you went.
So is my background okay now?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, like I said, with the incident that unfolded today in Liberia, because it took almost the entire day, while the story has subsided, but it hasn't even completely been over. And we also saw on the social media videos where we're seeing a lot of violence standoff between the CDC and the LNP, that is the Liberia National Police, at the headquarters of the CDC. And some of the seditions are contending that the Liberia National Police never gave them any search warrant that they are obtained from the court that gave them the authority to go and search the party headquarters. Unfortunately, the police just went and decided to do what they considered to be their job. They said they were doing their work. And between you and that, the political issues to deal with them, they gotta be politically smart. The facility in question is the headquarters of a political party that just left power.
Right.
It's an institution. And I believe if the police believe that they have all probable cause of every reason, to visit the CDC headquarters to search for whatever, thing that they think is a reason to search, they should have obtained a search warrant from the court. But that it means that the police are law the legal base that will be set should have been the Liberia National Police. If for any reason they obtain such warrant and CDC say be adamant, ruthless to say, even though you have come with such warrant, except from our party or institution to carry out this exercise, but we cannot allow you to do so. And the police have every reason to use another means possible under the laws. But what CDC is saying, because both of them, except a full-scale investigation is conducted to know the truth happening, we are coding sources on both sides. So that's the issue of the CDC. Now, the police are saying that, the DEA got a tip off that, in and around the compounds of the CDC, they have some deadly drugs that, the guys are taking. So they went to do drugs raiding. So for the fact that were drugs raiding, they didn't have to ask for permit because it's a function of the DEA. So those are the different information that another person might have got a different source of information, but I listen to the CDC and I've been reading on, a lot of, in the print media. Even I think the police had a press conference, the government had a press conference, had the press briefing of Gerald Lumepia. And from what I got, until an independent investigative body can be set up to investigate the matter, to come with findings and conclusions, we will all say that these are what we're hearing from both sides that escalated the matter. But here is the issue. And with all of the justifications, everybody want to be right, nobody want to be wrong. But firstly, what happened? What happened was violent. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. How it happened, that's the politics about it. When it happened is today. When it happened is the CDC party headquarters. What did it happen? The what did it happen question is where the police or the DA will first make us to understand whether they went there lawfully and peacefully and they got resisted by seditions. Or whether sedition will be telling us that the DA or the police went on there and just started arresting people or just started, raiding the yard without prior notice. That's the wild question. But whatever happened, should it have even happened in the first place? No, it shouldn't have happened. Because violence, no matter who carry on violence, violence doesn't have a place in our society. Taking into consideration what we have experienced as a country over the last years. So I don't think any individual or any political institution or any government should in any way be inciting violence or promoting violence or defending violence. So what happened was chaotic, it was wrong, and we recommend or demand an investigative body be set up to ascertain as to what actually happened, and it shouldn't have happened. I think that's what I gotta say until another panelist can come up with a point. But it shouldn't have happened. It could have been prevented.
So, Gesha, what do you make of the violence, the standoff between CDC and the National Police?
Well, I mean, fair enough to say, Doug and Christian and our viewers, the way our country, the way we are proceeding as a people, if care is not taken, I smell something chaotic. Fair enough to say, we went through the electoral processes. One party came up victorious, and that party belongs to the Liberian people. In fact, we are not running a party now, we are running a government. And I think it is the sole responsibility of the government, to maintain the peace that we have enjoyed for at least, some period of time now after the civil crisis. Look, this is not the first time police have gone out of the CDC headquarters. I think this should be the second, if not the second, this is the third time. You went through the electoral process, you won CDC. I think sedition should be angry with you in my mind, because somebody that is defeated, that a person can be aggrieved. And it's the sole responsibility of the government to maintain the peace, the ruling establishment. Because opposition will always be opposition. But it is the responsibility of the government. Why is it yesterday? I asked a question on one of the live videos today. I was it OKFM or front page. Why is it all the time CDC headquarters that they're going to raid? Now you went to go, they said behind CDC headquarters, they got a tip of that people there, the people established gap there, and there where the police went to raid. But what led you people now to go to CDC party headquarters? What led? You saw the live video, police throwing tear gas in the party headquarters, throwing tear gas. Seditious themselves reacting with stones. You saw it on the live video. Why is it only CDC party headquarters? I said, this is not the first time. If this was the first time, then we say, yeah, this should be the second, if not the second, the third time since this government got to power. That they will always go there and will say, in the name of raid. Is this area the only area that you can raid? You say, okay, it's to be established that CDC headquarters is being used as a ghetto. If we say you want to raid around the CDC, because I was told they said behind CDC headquarters, people there using the place as a ghetto. Why didn't you use the backyard? And already there have been a tip off that this government is planning, to issue a search warrant on the president's, property. There is a tip up. I think it's in the news already. And seditious are already aware. Now, to add insult to injury this morning, The peace that we enjoy in this country is paramount. We saw what the 14-year-old civil unrest did to us. We cannot go back to the dark days. And let me be thankful to the mothers. I saw other folks, the women dress up in the white. The women, the old ladies, they had to go there and to lie down on the ground calling for peace between the police and that of the CDC. I saw Moses Akaro's grave. I mean, in fact, the seditions, I felt very disheartening when I saw the speaker, who is a hierarchy of the party. When I saw the speaker going, I thought, the person of the speaker who have brought some level of relief. That is, I mean, sedition who have listened, and the police too, who have listened to have an amicable solution. But even with the presence of the speaker, Jonathan Funaki, we couldn't have peace. So the involvement of Moses Akaro's grave, CDC Secretary General went at the party's headquarters, Jefferson Tamakoji. This is very wrong. The way we are proceeding in this country is very, very wrong. This is a country of law. If the police say they want to go raid or whatever, if it is necessary that they go to the CDC headquarters, I mean, it should be done in a peaceful way, and sedition should be law-abiding people. If the police have no reason of winning the CDC party headquarters, this things can cause chaos. But all in all, that we are praying for the peace. Let's pray for the peace of this country. And I always told people, for this country to be peaceful, all of us, we got to think positive, we got to act positive and speak positive. That's the only way. Other than that, and in Moravia, yeah, that it's almost like we are in an electoral period. It's almost like CDC and Unity Party basically. It's just we campaigning. I don't know whether we've just finished with election. I don't know, because it's almost like you people in a campaign stage. Same thing that happening during campaign. It's the same thing we are seeing. And Joseph Vaca, who is the president, our president, he has the obligation to maintain the peace, call for peace. This is not that you should be able now as a leader to reconcile the country. Forget about, the political feelings. Reconcile the country.
Sagesha, let me play this video so you can see, let people see those at least that did not see what was going on today. Let me play this quick video here.
So welcome, folks. Police officers continues to release more tear gas.
Leave the fence, and then we'll come out and close them. At the same time, the rain is intensifying. The police are not giving up.
So stones are being thrown, and this is an attachment between the both partisans of the CDC and officers of the Liberia National Police. You can vividly see that the officers of the Liberia National Police are releasing both stones and tear gas. And this continues here at the CDC headquarters, and this is a challenging moment.
But it's against human rights, so
it's very challenging here. So
that truck is assumed to have hot water in it.
Police officers bravely going into.
We've not seen it yet. The police are bravely approaching
the headquarters of the CDC. We just have to be careful as well, as stones are being thrown from the headquarters of the CDC here. So as you can see over there, so that is Spoon TV. We are coming to you live just around the CDC headquarters.
All right, guys. I just wanted to play that to give the viewers, or at least those that did not see it, to have a sense of what went on today in the country. That is horrible, man. A country that just graduated from uh, gun violence, and you see all these different images going on. I mean, all on the television. I mean, it resuscitates that trauma that people been carrying for a long time. So, but Sigesha, before I come in, and you are going ahead with your thought, when you complete your thought, then I will come in, and then when Bible has something to say, you go ahead.
So, like I said, the president has a huge obligation. After election, during election, I mean, people say things to each other, like the things that happen, people went at each other's throat, but the election is over. We are one people. The president has a huge responsibility to reconcile this country. And then what the Unity Party government is feeling. The Unity Party government don't want to see themselves as winner. Fair enough to say. Reconcile the country. That's your obligation. Seditions maybe agree because they were defeated. But you hold the responsibility now to reconcile our country, bring our people together. This is not about Unity Party. This is not about CDC anymore. But all that I see now in Moreover on a daily basis is that we are campaigning. It's like CDC is against the Unity Party. Day in, day out. You listen to various radio stations. Those that are for CDC, they talk all lot of negative things about the Unity Party government. Those that are for the Unity Party. And in this country, we are just divided. So the president has a huge responsibility to reconcile this country. I think I can stop there for now.
All right, Sigesha, thanks for your thought, and Tobabo, thanks for your analysis as well. And this is what I think. Like you guys always already indicated, the Unity Party won the election, and so she is now the government of the country. I don't think the security forces will arbitrarily go to a political party's headquarters to search. They have some intel, they have some information for which they will go somewhere to raid. So there is some sort of circumstantial evidence to the security forces that they have for which they went there, and to see private citizens. I mean, maybe I'm in the West, Bible, because over here, when the police they come somewhere, and for the people to do what the guys are doing to the throwing stones at the police officers, it'll be a different case. So don't joke here. So to see for hours, for people to be in a fence and they are throwing stone, and the security cannot disperse the people. That Liberia is the security, they are unserved. They don't have the required tools to do their job, But you guys indicated, I will call you back, Tote. I will return your call. You guys said a couple of things. You said the Speaker of the House, he's a sedition, right? Yes. The Speaker went to the headquarters to quiet these guys down, and they refused to listen to him. Carriers went there, and they still refused to listen to him. The mothers, they went there, and they still refused. So the question, who do you think is the problem? If you have these top-notch officials, they are going to the guys in the family who are also seditions, and they are telling them to stop what they are doing, and they are not listening. I mean, we can infer that these guys are the problem. We can say it's the government. We can say that. So seditions got to understand they're out of power. They had 6 years to lead the country, and they did their part, and the people say, you know what? We want different people to come around the country. Okay? So the guys, if they want to come to power, they just have to regroup properly and go through the political process, which is campaigning when time reaches. But to start chaos, to be agitating and talk about militancy all the time, the country is fragile. I think the government is being proactive. They can't wait until the situation gets out of control before they intervene. So when they get intelligent, when they have an intel, they will act upon that. So I mean, just unfortunate that the country, it is what it is. and people just do things arbitrarily. I went over there 2020 a Christian and sagacious. I was disappointed. Like, I mean, even traffic, the people cannot even regulate traffic. Everybody coming at the same time we reach to an intersection. It's horrible, you know. So, I mean, we just have to learn, Liberians, we have to learn to obey law or laws, because nowhere around the world functions without the rule of law being implemented. And they got the security, they got to do their job. If they are not doing their job properly, they got to do something. They have to overhaul the security apparatus in the country to look at if the guys are not capable. But I look at the guys today. First of all, they are outnumbered by the protesters. That's first thing. And number two, they don't have the gear, the necessary gear, especially the riot gears, to disperse the guys. The tear gas, they got few of them, few people. I saw the vehicles. I like, you know what, the guys. I don't want to say more because I got a little background of security, and so I don't want to go more into that. But what I see here and what I saw over there today, the guys they are in a serious struggle, and our people got to do better than that. Let's see. There's somebody kept calling, and maybe that's sedition. They want to say something here. Let me see. Hey, Tote.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. You got a contribution to make?
Yeah, good afternoon. You know, when you talk about CDC, then I have to talk. So I had to call in to make my info.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your analysis. That's your view that CDC is the one the problem. I just sent you a video. I don't know if you have the opportunity to play that video.
Yeah, I played the video from Spoon TV, but I saw the video.
The video that I sent you.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, yeah, well, go ahead. What's up?
Yeah, what happened is that, you know, this Unity Party people, they came to revenge. They not came to rescue Liberian people. Why always time that they will go beyond CDC Party headquarters to rape? Let me tell you, Silesian is not the people that didn't drop in Liberia. Ebi Kromah, why did he suspend Ebi Kromah? The men who bring the drug cartel to Liberia to do big transaction, making Liberia to be used as a transit point for drugs in the West Africa. So what's Silesian have to do with drugs?
Yeah, but Tote,
yes.
I'm not cutting you, but I mean, to seditions, I mean, this is a huge political party with huge membership. Are you here trying to vouch that none of them they are into drug trafficking at all? You want to vouch for them?
No, there's no evidence. There's no evidence to prove that the seditions engage in any drugs. The problem is that they fear that when sedition assemble at the party headquarters, there will be huge numbers, and their fear is that sedition will do something to them.
So why are you always congregating at the party headquarters? Why are you always congregating there? What's going on?
Just said that we are the biggest political party. Do you know what you mean the biggest grassroots political party? Even in the night, and every time people have to be at the party headquarters, it's not a crime for people to sit at the party headquarters at night time.
Tote,
Those people, yes.
You are in the U.S. I mean, you got two major parties here: the Democrats and the Republicans. How many times you see the men congregating the party headquarters to agitate?
Do not compare Democrats with Liberian politics.
Why?
Oh, the way we do things in Africa is different from what the people do in America here. In fact, the Unity Party during the last 6 years when they were in opposition, similar way where CDC has been behaving today, or this guy who is the LPRC managing director, he challenged the police. Samuel 12. He challenged the police at the party headquarters. He fought the police. But the police did not shoot them. Partisans did not shoot them. The video I sent you today, the officer released almost 20 rounds to CDC party headquarters. That's
not bullet though. That's tear gas.
No, that's a bullet. Once it's gone, once the video is seen, that's
a tear gas. I saw it.
Listen to me, like Akaras and other party leaders are spoken in Liberia. I was in Liberia November 7th. I witnessed what happened November 7th. I know what we went through. And we promised Liberian people we made a country peaceful, but what happened November 7th will not be repeated. You cannot continue to be targeting one political party. Just for example, today, All the partisans went back in the fence, but the police standing in front of the gate. What do you want to prove? Supremacy of power? Why you can't back up from the people's gate? What are you looking for?
Who is the authority in the country, Tote? Who is the authority in the country?
You are the authority. The people were elected for you to protect it.
Mm-hmm.
The police are there to protect every citizen.
No, but the authority came and they said disperse, and you refused to do that. So
disperse for what?
What?
Why should the people disperse when they are sitting in the party airport doing nothing? They don't harm nobody.
But the security was sent there. The security was sent there because they have some intelligent information about drugs.
What is the intelligent information? They don't have the intelligence.
You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say
listen now. They don't have intelligence. They don't have intelligence on every command who escorting drug dealers from the airport to hotel. They don't have intelligence on Falika who also escorting drug dealers to their various destinations.
But Tote, you are saying the people don't have evidence, but you are saying things with no evidence.
What is evidence? Why they suspended Eddie Coman?
Is it they suspended him for what?
They suspended him because a particular raised alarm that was Eddie Coman could not know what they drug dealer. That brought a serious commotion between both of them. You know that. You are aware of it. And not me say that they don't say it.
Okay, Total, thank you. Let me bring the other guys in. Well, thank you for your participation. Every time we bring in CDC thing here, so you come.
No, I want to show all the time. You know that.
No, you don't participate. You just said because anything that has to do with CDC, you will cut off.
Yeah, because your insinuation, you are insinuating that was sedition the one who causing the problem.
Okay.
What is the problem that sedition caused? Around 4 a.m., you went to somebody's house to wake the person up. Oh, I suspect you get drugged without even caring or what warrant. After they sit at the party airport for 4 hours, they went to the court to get a warrant. Why you did not get a warrant before you go to the court?
Total is fishy that you have multiple political parties in Liberia and that one CDC that can congregate in their compound. The other parties, they're not doing the same thing. They're not agitating, but CDC all the time. All right, let me bring next person. Total, I will call you. You can call back later, or you want to stay on the phone, you can stay on.
Hello.
Yeah. Let Brett Trouble. Let bring Trouble in. Trouble, go ahead. You're on mute. Go ahead. Okay, you're good.
Okay, so I'm good now, right?
Yes.
All right, good. So that from your last statement, from the last statement you made, or the last analogy you made, that there are a lot of political parties in Liberia, and why only CDC? The question should go to the United Party, not CDC. Because let me tell you something. I know when you come to Liberia, I will take you around. I know sooner than later you'll be in Liberia. I will take you around. Almost every police depot you have in Monrovia has at the back of a gap that the police are well of. You go on a double road, this is about 10, you go to the police station, right behind it's a ghetto. You go Center Street Police Station, they have about close to 150 ghettos around. Even the cemetery that is there is a ghetto. The police have yet to clear these people. They have yet to raid all these people that are right around the offices, the headquarters, the depots, the police station. They have yet to raid all of them. But according to them, I think they should be the 10th time now they have gone to CDC. So the last 2 towns that they visited there, what did they see? They need to tell us. They need to tell the public. You say you got intel of drugs activity taking place in the city. You went there the first time. So when you went there, what did you see? Did you see drugs? Did you arrest drugs? Who all did you arrest? The second time you went there, did you see drugs? Did you arrest anybody? So every time you go there, you say you get intel of drugs, but you cannot see the drugs. So another thing I think that the government is doing, the government is giving yourself unnecessary pressure. Because this government in the last 8 months have had every opportunity to sit down peacefully to plan and be able to do things for the Liberian people. Unlike the CDC that took away in January and the next month, the Unity Party people started protest. The less of Yeka Kuruba, the less of Henry Costa, the less of Dara Dino, John B. Kanga Lawrence, they were everything. In fact, when they are protesting, we don't tear gas them. We feed them, we get them water to drink, we provide security for them. For over 300 times the protesters in CDC government, we don't want tear gas them. We have not even started protesting. Every time we talk to our partisans, we converge at the party headquarters, and then we give our message to our partisans. We have not even gone on the street to block their role in a Unity Party government. So they are now taking it.
While you are in flight, let me make a point. Yes, you guys did not tear gas them, but guess what? They were not throwing stone at you guys. You guys were throwing stone at the security forces, and that's why they used tear gas on you.
No, I'm coming.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's where I'm going. To every action, to every unlawful action, there's an equal opposite resistance. The people are in the compound at the party headquarters that is guaranteed on our constitution for them to assemble at all times possible once they causes no harm. And you go in there to attack them.
But how can you call law enforcement action to be, unlawful? The people are enforcing law because the action is unlawful.
They don't have any warrant.
You know probably. The police should be there to serve everybody, right? That's the sole responsibility of the police. The police should be there to serve everybody. But now what has happened? Like the police trying to protect the government.
So Gesha, you have your time. Let me Bible to end, and you will have your time, please.
The police were at the CDC headquarters as early as 4 a.m. this morning, and the warrant, the search warrant from the court. No court can open midnight in this country to get somebody search warrant in the night.
What were you doing at 4 a.m. at your party headquarters? What were you doing 4 a.m. in the morning? What were you doing there?
We got.
Is that where you living? The policy is they living at the party headquarters?
We got caretakers. We got security. We got caretakers.
So it's easy for you to be at your party headquarters 4 in the morning. So what are you planning? 4 in the morning and you are at the party headquarters and you don't want the police to be there?
We are planning to rebrand our party for the next election. And that's
so you gotta be there 4 in the morning.
We are trying to rebrand our party for the next 6 years, and that's why they are afraid of. And that's why every night there you will see them coming to our party because they are aware that we are planning, and we are not planning against us. We are planning as professional people, and that's why every night there, because even the end of the year, the president or the party is going to be having a nationwide tour, and that's why we are planning. The president is supposed to visit the country to tell the Liberian people thank you for standing in the line, for voting him, even though he did not win again. But he still know that there were errors, there were things that went wrong, and those things can be worked out, and he can regain the confidence of the Liberian people again. That's what we're thinking about. We're not thinking about United Party. They have the government. If they are able to run the government, they should tell the Liberian people. Because every day they find a distraction. Every day they find new tactics that will confuse the minds of the Liberian people from those things actually that they said they were going to do. But now, I'm waiting for my 19 yellow machines that are supposed to be in Sinoe.
Okay.
I'm waiting for my 19 machines in Sinoe. They talk about 300 buses to NTA. They talk about 300 buses to NTA. Where are the 300 buses?
Bravo. I'm waiting for the yellow machine. I'm waiting for the yellow machine to bring Segesha. And Segesha, what's your thought? What were you saying?
So that, I mean, let us pay as pay. The Constitution provides for peaceful assembly. See, DJ want to gather, want to quarrel, they want to gather at any point in time. They are on their obligation to gather. Anytime they want to gather, one they are peaceful. The people they in a party headquarters, the people not blocking the movement of people, the people staying right in their party headquarters. I don't think it's causing harm to anybody. It's causing no harm to the public. The CDC party headquarters has been a lively area. People, you pass there day and night, people there. People are there day and night. They are all activities, recreational activities, everything. So, I told you this is the third time police are going to the party headquarters. Now,
United Party, the government has that obligation to reconcile. There are too many things the government said were not correct that they came to correct. Why should the government focus on this? You just focus on a particular political party. Look at the son of Jeremiah Kun, political son of Jeremiah Kun was double dipping. Is the government focused on that man now? Because that is criminal in nature. Have you heard the government doing the press release? I mean, the press briefing today. You heard anything of such? But the government is focused on going on we don't have for that same CDC as an opposition political party. But I think now we are not in election stage. The government is for everybody now. You should not be picking a particular political party. In my opinion, is very wrong. There are too many things we need to trickle down. You saw the double dipping, the man in the government, and Jeremiah Kun, the vice president, a political son. But who talks about it? 7 have been dismissed because they spoke their opinion. Now the part of the Constitution that calls for freedom of expression, they erased it. Nobody talking about it. These are things you reach going down on. You say you are going to end the nightmare of suffering. 7 who have salary who have increased. We listen to sons when 7 signs say, you harmonize my salary, I will harmonize your vote. Because these were things politicians were telling them. But now I think we have had 7 salary increased. I think that's what the government should be focusing on. The government's plan of opening some of 22 million on Mali Road. Where are the roads today? Is the government focused on it? The both of them.
Yes, sir. I want to transition.
1 minute drag. 1 minute drag. These are things the government should be focused on. If that's government who say they have come to rescue, do your rescue, forget about a particular political party. Douglas cost pay SP. The constant going at CDC party headquarters by the United Party-led government is unacceptable. I am not also, in favor of, sedition choice to our police people. All right? This is a country of law. But what may have led to the sedition's action? Why when you always come to people area and you always say you want to sex, you want to rape, you want to do this. In your very present now, zombie, come to Morovia. When you see young people, you see so on and four. When you see so on one young man for, you give up. The drugs now they call zombie as soon as they taken out so can be on that for. What is the government doing to tackle that? Or like only in CDC headquarters, the poor guy the drugs. Only there. When there are 7 ghettos around police station, like Tribalism say, come to Morovia, that. Come to Morovia. Police people are email lying with the people. DEA personnel, you go in the ghetto, you see them there. But they are not fighting on that. Let's forget about hate. No, you want CDC already. You're the ruling establishment now. Try to reconcile the country. I think that's what the United Party government should be doing right now.
All right, Tegesha, thank you. When I think it was Thomas Aquinas who said the past is the key to the present, right? If you have a history of violence and then somebody's seeing something of that sort coming up, they will be focused on you. CDC has a history in our country of engaging into violence. I can tell you for sure, I follow the politics of Liberia, and that Tilia Uriah won the election, and the guys almost killed that young girl. That's CDC I'm talking about. The same Akaros Gray that went over there today, he raided the University of Liberia campus with the same seditions. They took on the street of Morovia as though it was rebel time. So the history of the CDC is there. So when the seditions are gathering 4 o'clock in the morning, like Tubabo just indicated, it raises our brows. The security got to intervene. Why are these guys congregating 4 in the morning? What are they doing? So Gesha says it's a country of law. We agree. It's a country. Hold on. You will get your time. You can't eat my time, my man. You can't eat my time. Hold on. You can't eat my time. I will not allow you to eat my time. I'm not hearing you, my man. I'm not hearing you. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Babo, you on mute. Babo, you on mute. Babo, you on mute. Babo, you on mute.
You're on mute.
Babo, you are on mute. Babo, you unmute yourself.
I'll be the man. I will finish my thought. You won't come. I will finish my thought. Maybe I want me to talk while I hear body that you won't get or you won't can't talk. I will finish my own today. Then you can't. I'm not a unity party person. But you see, when you are in authority and you have the opportunity to hold people accountable and you fail, this is what happens. George Weah, the tribal, everybody else that are sedition, they said the Unity Party government was corrupt government. And they were given the gavel by the Liberian people. When they came, even when they asked the president, then George Weah, they said, Mr. President, when are you going to implement the War and Economic Crimes Code? You know what he said? You want development or you want War Crime Code? Okay, you said these people committed egregious crimes in the country, but you failed to go after them. You sat down for 6 years, you're doing munya all day. The people now, they came back to power. They are going after you, and you are saying, oh, the people, they wish hunting. But the people are going after you for what you did. And you don't want to sit down. You have, I don't know how many political parties you have in Liberia, a bunch of them. Those people are not congregating to their party headquarters 24/7. But you that just came from power yesterday, 24/7, 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, you are to party headquarters. You are planning to go do county tour. Do you need to gather 4 o'clock in the morning if you are planning to do county tour? So the security got a reason to go there. And Sigation said earlier, these guys are peaceful people. I don't see that. When you are throwing stones, you are not only harming the security, you are harming people that are passing by, you are putting threat to the vehicles that are passing, you're posing harm to properties around that. Around that whole area, you are not a peaceful person. And the security, they got a right to disperse that. Okay? If you are in a peaceful country, it doesn't mean that you can be up. If you go to a party, for example, it's a peaceful, but that doesn't mean you should be to a party all night. No. The United States here is a peaceful place, but the gate time when you go to party, you got to leave. You can't stay there 24/7. You know? So you guys' activities while making the government to do what they are doing. Sigation also said, we are not in political season, but why are you having all these different political rallies? It's not political season. So why are you always congregating to your political party when it is not political season? Why? So these are some of the things that you guys are doing for which the security is always coming. Why they can't go to Cummings place or Cummings' political headquarters? They can't do that. The people are not causing any problem. But you get some of these guys, they go over there and the people say they get weed around your area or drugs around, and then they tell you, say, oh man, we got to raid this place, get away, and you say you're not going away. So then they get a right to come and take you from there. Because when they're carrying on an operation, it might affect you. And so they say, you know what? Send you closer to our target area, disperse, and you are challenging the security. I mean, who does that? That does not show peaceful people at all. So, Tribal, I think I hit your nerve a little bit and you wanted to come on. Go ahead so we can transition to the next thing.
So they're trying to provide clarity on what I said, because you said, and Tribal said the citizen Gallo folk. I said no. I told you it was the police that were at the party headquarters 4 a.m. in the morning.
Why did they go there?
What?
They went to an empty party headquarters 4 in the morning?
No, but they know what many people rally too.
No, but what I'm
they
saying,
were there.
somebody
woke up in the morning. When the
people were at the headquarters 4 in the morning, now what they went there?
Good. So I'm saying we don't have problem with that. But the more they arouse the CDC, the most they cause trouble for themselves. The more they arouse the CDC, the more they will cause trouble for themselves. Because
why
is a very peaceful party. Why? CDC is a very peaceful party and has been peaceful. When CDC does not get protests, they don't just agitate if you don't look for them. You get what I'm saying? So CDC is a very peaceful party. and we have been giving the government the time to run, begging the time to run his government. But if you think maybe he can run the government and he want all of us to run the government with him, then we don't have a problem to run the government with him. We don't have a problem to do that. But there will be no political intimidation that will stop sedition from gathering at his headquarters. No. The more they come, the more we gather. And every time, because you talk about citizen throwing stools, and not only at the police, it could be true at the citizen. What about the tear gas? Can the tear gas pick and choose? The tear gas they were using, was it only on seditions? There were other citizens passing on the road too.
No, they were not shooting at the street. They were shooting in the compound where the agitator was.
They were shooting in the compound.
Huh?
They were shooting in the compound. Because seditions were in the compound. Seditions were not thrown in the compound because they are in the compound. So when you throw tear gas in the compound and it becomes so unbearable to the extent that the people's life become threatened, then they have to respond in a way that
and that's why they start to tear gas you in the compound.
That's what I mean.
You are in the compound and throwing stones outside.
No,
and that's why they start to tear gas you.
But they didn't just start throwing stones. No, they didn't just start throwing stones. The police started using tear gas on them in their compound. And they had no other way to run.
They gave you instructions to disperse.
Which instruction?
And you refuse.
Which instruction?
To disperse, to leave the compound.
We law, why?
Dad. We were
authority.
The people who were using the people who were taking drugs were around the compound, not in the compound of the citizen. Now, why didn't the police, the DEO carry their operation around the compound? Why they chose the compound of the citizen? It's mind-boggling. They said the people can use the back of the party, at the back of the party. Yeah, that's where the people had to get to, so to speak. So why didn't you carry on your operation? Why didn't you stick to where you went to operate? Instead, you wanted to go in the fence. Why? Why didn't the police do that demarcation? And for the people party headquarters, the people have the right to be at the party headquarters. You also have the right to do your job.
Yeah, but Sigation, what I'm saying is,
like you said, when they put a train stone, they put not only train stone at the police. Do you know how many community dwellers got affected by the tear gas? Do you know how many persons got affected today by the tear gas, including the journalists? You know how many persons got affected? Community dwellers. I'm not talking about people in the fence.
Sigation, it was precipitated by the guy's action.
So no. was the police right to disperse a peaceful assembly?
Okay, is that a question you're asking?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah,
you in your house.
They were not peaceful.
Peaceful. So if you and your children decide to have to meet Father in your own house and have a devotion, is that a problem?
No, that's a different thing. It's not a problem. Those guys that got over there, they are not children. They are militants.
But if you don't know the history of violence, like you said, if you don't know the real history of violence, the Unity Party 2011, November 7th. If any political party in the country that has a history of violence is the Unity Party. Because seditionists have never vandalized Unity Party to use loud bullet to kill hundreds of the people. The first party that have that record in Liberia that have done it is the Unity Party. 2011, November 7, Unity Party sent the same police officers in the compounds of the CDC and killed seditionists. They killed seditionists. So whenever seditionists see police again with arms coming in the party headquarters, that thing, what took place in 2011, it comes and they reflect on their mind and they try to be very cautious so that they can be killed the same way. Because the police didn't do it before. So every time they see armed men around the compound, they get tragic. Why?
I said because of the throw stones.
Yeah, but the police use tear gas on them too.
All right. I want to say, okay, we can agree, we can disagree to agree, or we can agree to disagree. I think if you ask me, if you're a law-abiding citizen and the law enforcement apparatus, they come over and they say, you know what, leave, you leave. They are not taking your headquarters away. They're not moving the building. They want to effect. They want to do some operation.
But the very president himself is not lawyer. Is not lawyer about it. Are you aware of that?
Yeah. Hold on, Twabo. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know what you call me or what I said.
The CRC of the country, the commander in chief, is not lawyer about it.
Okay, granted, he's not. But guess what?
The man who is the commander in chief, but President Bouaka is not lawyer about it.
Okay, that's your view, but yeah, it's what I got to say.
Are you aware of that?
Twabo, that's what you said.
No, not my view. The evidence. The evidence.
Okay, we'll get into that, but here's what I want to say to that. Here's what I want to say to that. Twabo, guess what? You had the opportunity to hold this man accountable, and you blew the opportunity. You had the opportunity. You said for 12 years, the guys looted the country. I can agree with you on that. Ellen and Joseph Bouaka, they looted the country.
We are not arguing. No, our defense on this show is not against accountability or the audit process. No, we didn't say that because they not audit them, because they not made it to account, these two should not be audited or make it to account. But what happened today has nothing to do with accountability.
No, but I'm reacting to the point when you say the president is corrupt. That's why you said the president, commander in chief today is corrupt.
I say it's not lawyer about it.
It's not lawyer about it.
So what, if you're not lawyer about it, what does it mean? If you're not lawyer about it, what does it mean? You are either corrupt or different thing.
No, not in all cases. Not in all cases, but you can find a better nomenclature to give it. But I'm telling you, you're talking about people being the respecters of law. But I'm saying your commander in chief of the very people who want people to be respecters of law himself is not a law respecter.
Okay, all right.
That's the contradiction I'm giving you. There are so many times things go through legal processes and the court made decision and Bouaka ignore that decision, defy the decision, and do what he pleased to do as Bouaka. So he himself is not a respecter of law.
Here is my recommendation. I want the sedition. I want them to be quiet until they take power next time that they can hold Bouaka accountable. They should not disturb the country. You should stop disturbing the country. Huh?
No. We will not remain quiet if the intent is to keep us quiet. And then they'll get it wrong because they were never quiet on our time and we did not harass them.
No, but what never quiet.
They had a higher protest in the country. You know, the party had a higher number of protests.
They were peaceful.
We never harassed them. We never intimidated them.
They did not throw stones. They did not throw stones.
It's not true. It's not true.
So Gesho just said,
it's not true. The Somalia draft incident between the United Party and CDC, where citizens lost their life, who are throwing stones?
No,
the Somalia draft incident, who are throwing stones? So they all have history of violence in their country. But what we are saying, Bouaka should be in charge. President Bouaka should see himself now as the president, and he must start to govern. That's the point we are raising. He should stop seeing people as citizens. He should see Liberians now. Everybody you see should be Liberians. And now you know the party saying, and now sedition, and now people from the ANC Communist Party, now people from the Liberty Party. He should consider everybody now to be Liberian, and that he is responsible for everybody as a leader. Until he can graduate from that political thinking and comes to the sense of governance, he will continue to have these kind of issues. He's the president. You know the party is in charge. You know, they have all the authority, but they should see themselves now as the government. They should see themselves as government.
Yeah,
every action President Bouaka has taken, every action this government has taken has been politically driven, they're being legally driven.
I mean, your opposition, so we don't expect you to say they are leading fairly, but again,
I'm an objective opposition.
Okay, good.
Saying that, evident to that.
Okay, so Twabo, my last point today before we go, I mean, if you say you agree that the United Party is in power right now, and governance required implementation or enforcement of law. The police, the guys are enforcing the law, and you are saying you are at your party headquarters 4 o'clock in the morning, so you're not going to leave. Okay? So then the guys, they have reason to take another step to get you out. But unfortunately, you started throwing stones at the police officer. They are leading. When you are leading, it requires that you also enforce the law. and the guys are enforcing the law, and you say, "Oh, why are they enforcing the law? They should leave you alone. You can be to your party headquarters and
But
make noise
there is no
anytime
law.
you want. You
There is
disturb
no
the
law.
neighbors, huh?"
There are no laws in our constitution that say police should go to a party headquarters and jail partisans, say leave, and they just leave. There's no law. So they did not go to enforce any law. They went there to show off power. They went there to show off power. Now, we are the police, we got guns in our hand, we are the government, so anything, when we say leave, you don't leave, with tear gas you. They went to intimidate the people, and they shouldn't have done that. It's wrong. There is no law.
What I can say for
What
sure
they did was not guaranteed by any law on the book.
So probably what I can say for sure is here where I'm at right now in the United States, when a policeman comes here and say leave, you got to leave. If you don't leave, brother,
But that's
it'll be a
United States.
different
Your laws
ball
are
game.
different.
You'll see
Your
yourself
laws are
being
different.
barred. Huh?
Your laws are different from our laws.
No,
So
it's the same law, but over there, people challenge the security to the point where
no.
police officer comes
That's
here
what they say.
and you say leave. When you don't leave, the reinforcement that will come, you regret why you said no to them. You know. But let's move on to something else. We don't agree on this one.
No, we're not the only ones to do.
Yeah, I want to reflect on this. I think we were supposed to talk about it last show, and because of time constraint, we did not exhaust that. So I want us to do a little reflection on leadership in Sinoe, the past and present, the good and the bad. I want to reflect on the leaders, people that have led Sinoe County in the past. Let's discuss the good and the bad, you know, and see maybe we'll derive at the best leader in Sinoe County through the analysis, you know, of looking at the leaders, at least the one we know, the one whose history we know. And so that's the next section I want to talk about, the good and the bad. The leaders in Sinoe County. You take a shot first.
Thank you, but I want to know the category of leaders you're talking about, because if you say leaders, I know I could start talking about a paramount chief. I could start talking about even a clan chief, because they are all leaders. But which type of leader? Political leaders that elected leaders, or those who have been presidential appointees, having a failed county. You say leader, I think.
Yeah, so let's start from Pablo, labor commissioner. So you also in the equation. So, but most of when I talk about that.
When we're talking about Trawa, I will not talk about myself. Then I will leave it to you as a guy to look at my activity.
You can defend yourself, because when I say something, you will come to defend yourself. Because I could say something now.
So you will start for it. Then I will defend.
No, but I want to talk about
the offense can start before the defense.
What happened? Yeah, so I was. Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying there can be no defense without offense. So you start the ball rolling, and then I could come up. If that's about, but if you want to talk about generally leaders, past leaders of the county, then at random, anybody can choose a leader to talk about.
That's what I want us to do, instead of selecting certain group of people, you know. So we can do, if you want to talk about paramount chief that did not treat the people right, it's okay. If you want to talk about county superintendent, it's okay. If you want to go to the labor commissioner and praise yourself, it's okay. I have no issue with that.
Okay, thank you. For me, this will be my own take on the subject matter. You know, I don't like to consider people to be already bad person or bad leaders, because every leader, every person has their good side, they have their bad side. So you become a bad person in the eyes of people in the society when your bad surpasses your good. Or sometimes when your good surpasses your bad, you do more good than doing bad, than they say man like good man. But even the person they call good leader also have some bad doings. So it's I know, with our reflection on our past leaders that have served this county, and I would want to look at maybe good and very good, because I will not use any best or better description on them. I will also use the adjective of somebody being a bad person. So I would just consider to discuss those that are good and those that are very good. And I will want to start with and I want to start with the administration of President Sirleaf. I said, well, I don't know which year you want to start from, but I wanted to start with 2005 and the administration of President Sirleaf. In Sinoe, the first superintendent of Madam Sirleaf, and when she became president, was Sylvester Grisbury. No, Sylvester Grisbury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sylvester Grisbury was here. He has his own vision, his own dream, his own system. And I think a vision was first unity, reconciliation, genuine reconciliation and unity, year development. So he introduced the Sinoe dialogue. At that time, the county development fund was around 68,000, and later on, before it came at 200,000. And so in his mind, he said the monies for county development were not sufficient, were not enough to cover the entire county every fiscal year. So a leadership style would prefer to have a program called Sinoe Dialogue, where every year the entire county, people from different districts, will gather in a particular district to dedicate few projects that will be used for that, as from the funding of that particular fiscal year, carried to a particular district. And the first district they started with at that time was the Johnson district, where you have in Bidwell Creek, you have the city hall, even though they call it city hall, but I was the town hall, and the renovation of the administrative building, the construction of the ministerial code, and a 25 kVA generator was taken there to have, electrify the area according to them. And so there was an annual festival in that year where even the president was there. People went there to dedicate the projects and celebrate, and share common, culture, share common tapes because of the trauma of the war. And so he felt that it was the best way to bring the people back together, to bring it back the good old days, because with unity, development can be achieved. And under his administration, there was not much achieved though, but a little was achieved. And one of the things that he ever achieved under the administration was the country was at peace, the country was united, and there was not much issue of Sapo crew and Grable and American Liberia, and you get in the rest. So for that leadership he played to have kept the county peaceful under the administration. Why election one will say, oh, he did build it, but I don't think he received more money than any other superintendent to have done more than what he did during his term. And so he kept the unity. He kept the unity. He kept the county at peace. And there were not many times we saw confusion between the local authority and that of the caucus that could stop development. They had that cohesiveness. They had a good working relationship. So I will commend him for that. One of the things under the administration that people at Sinoe were complaining about him that I know so far is that the fact that he used to stay more time in the county, and another thing they had is say he was staying in the guest house in his own county as superintendent, and most time he was running the county from Monrovia because he felt Sinoe was too far away from the city. He didn't want to go far away from all the comforts. And that's what the issue that people have. But in all of these issues, it kept the county very peaceful and very united. And so I gave kudos to that. So another person after Mr. Sylvester Grisbury, that when they came to Sinoe, that took over, and it was Superintendent Tiaje. After Grisbury was Superintendent Tiaje. Superintendent Tiaje came to Sinoe. At the time, he has a stronger backing, the stronger support, the confidence of the president, then President Madam Eddie Joseph Sirleaf. The working relationship between Superintendent Tiaje and President Sirleaf that time was very, very cordial, to the extent that everything he pushed had to be approved by the president. And under his administration, we saw a few things being done. Yeah, we saw a few things being done. But those things, as we heard, was to be done to a lot of different trends. For example, one of the first things that was said by the superintendent was that the then superintendent was that for him, he believed that road connectivity, road network in the county will foster development, because most of the places that hard to reach, and most of the districts are cut off. Even if you have to engage in agricultural activities, how do your produce get to the market? So the first county setting, the first county development funding, it will use it to secure your yellow machines for the county that will belong to Sinoe, and that Sinoe will use it in Sinoe. And because that budget year was for Jirepo Sanitary District, that dollar should have gone there, and every resource was for Jirepo. But then he changed it around to the yellow machine. So he promised the Jirepo people that under my administration as superintendent, the first road that I will construct with the yellow machines for Sinoe will be the Jirepo road. And so the Jirepo people became happy. They said, even though we might not have similar things that they have in Johansson, Berkeley as their own kind of development fund from the dollar, but at least we'll have a road, and our people will start working 8 hours, 12 hours. So they bought in the idea. But unfortunately, when the equipment came to Sinoe, and the equipment were not road working, and so they were only they came exhibition at least for about a week or two, and after that, they parked at the police station. From the police station today, they were scrapped. So Jirepo road was not faced, even though the money was diverted to purchase machines. The machine was not road working, and the Jirepo fell back, and Sinoe people fell back. It came up with the issue of rural identification in exchange for scrap. All of our scrap, in the county, set up scrap committee. They brought in business partners, people who would buy these scraps, and that will give money to Sinoe. And I think the project cost was around $500,000 US, 500,000. They brought in, one Ghana man came here who was said to be the contractor, brought in some light pole. They started planting around. The people were saying, wow. Our Greenville is about to be electrified. These light poles are planted. They managed to get one machine at a time, pulling in the old LEC building, started put a few bulbs on the trees, and the exhibition went on again for about 2 to 3 weeks. That was the end of the Greenville electrification. The next thing was the student bought 12 kVA machine. He sent it to everybody with some light bulb, with some wires to electrify everybody without a sustainable plan. So people feel that there were a lot of projects, that the superintendent talked about that were very good, but could not be realized. And because he has the political ambition for 2014, so there was always issue of misunderstanding between he and the late Senator Yimpa, because Senator Yimpa was the incumbent who was seeking, or who were planning to seek re-election in 2014, knowing the superintendent has similar ambitions, so they had a political friction. And at the end of the day, one of the things that two of them did not manage is to have evolved that situation to escalate to a tribal debate. Both of them did not manage that. You had the Senator Yimpa who, from the Sabo divide, had some young Sabo children, some young Sabo women, some elders of the Sabo background who believe, it's their son, and at all costs, a re-election should be protected. And there were those who believe that, Senator Tiaje from Tajewo being a crewman is also their son, and they are the majority in the county, and they deserved to a spot at the Senate, and so Tiaje should go. Another issue was there are better disconnect between the late senator and the county, because he hardly come to Sinoe as a senator, and so Tiaje was living in the county, so he gave him edge everywhere he went. Everything he said, people listened. The time the senator came, I did 3 months or 6 months of election to say he coming to clarify. It was late already for him, because the people have been hearing all those things from Tiaje for 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, just a few months of election. You can't tell anything that will change their mind. So I think one of the things that under the administration of Superintendent Tiaje is that he has control over the county. When I say control, meaning that he has the support of the president. So everything he wanted, he gets. But if he had that mind of really developing Sinoe, he would have done that, because he served for 5 years, and not only that he served for 5 years, but he really received support. He really even during administration, one time our county budget went to around $1.28 million. I think so. Sakaja can agree with me. 1 million plus United States dollar. You know,
So,
our county budget under his administration.
Bravo, I want you to kind of condense or summarize so that we'll bring another person in so it can be like a monologue, you know?
Thank you. So
Yeah.
I think under his administration, one of the things that, you know, he did not really take care of was the issue of accountability. Accountability was a problem, and mismanagement of public funds was a problem. And a lot of projects were EMI, monies were given, but those buildings, some of it would be on foundation level, some level, window level, and some they reached the window level, nothing was done, and it went down to the ground again. Misappropriation, and I'm not just saying that because I hate the senator, but it's confirmed because I think the senator was found some $50,000 for everything I'm saying here. And somebody support us said he paid the money, but if he didn't pay the money, that Bible would say it would be the court. So since the court have not called for him, maybe he might have paid that money. So that's what the issue he had, the issue of financial misappropriation. But with the support he had, if he really wanted to do something for something, he would have done very more than what he did.
All right, Segesha, let's bring Segesha. Segesha, we are doing reflection on past and present leaders, best and the worst, whatever you want to. So wherever you want to start, go ahead. For me, when I come, all of you will start coming back, so I'll just wait when you're finished talking. Yeah. So Segesha, I mean, just give you a little perspective of the leadership in Sinoe County. Who do you think serve the people better and who serve the people worse?
So, I mean, everybody got their own good side and they have their own bad side. So, I was doing a VOS when Superintendent Tiaje, who later became the Senator Tiaje, was the superintendent of the county. One of the good things he did when he became superintendent was to clear the SRC. At the time there was illegal tapping of rubber at the SRC plantation. Yeah. And so he used the emergency response unit and the ERU to raid the guys who were doing illegal tapping at the SRC plantation. One of the things he introduced again was the electrification. But there the senator was playing a smart game. Like the Bible said, he had the ambition of unseating the 10th Senator Yimpan. And so money that were allotted during county sitting, for example, they said the superintendent is responsible for spending of the county money. So the lawmakers go and lobby it, get the money, come down and have the county sitting, like Senator Yimpan, Senator Namwe were doing, and they give the money to the superintendent then, Senator Tiaje. And he takes the money, buy generator, buy zinc, go to the villages, go to the town, and say, I bought this zinc, I bought the generator for the town. And he was using the county development fund then to run his campaign. So I also spoke of projects that were unaccountable. For example, there's a clinic down in Kuya. If I had the opportunity, maybe I would send you photos. There's a clinic down since 2013, 2011, 2012. During the county setting, there was money allotted for that clinic. And that clinic up to now can be completed. Kuya Clinic. It was under the superintendent of Senator Tiaje then. Right? We also had the late Senator Yimpan, the late Senator Namwe. They were all good sons of Sinoe. They had their own bad time. For example, you go to Seabed now, there's an uncompleted town hall since 2011. That was a legislative sponsored project by the late Senator Namwe. They go to Seabed again. There's another legislative sponsor project uncompleted by former Representative Jefferson Kamo. Yeah, you know, a lot of completed projects, money was given, legislative project. For example, Senator Tiaya giving Whoopi some Whoopi amount, and when he bid their black right to Snowy Town. Yeah. So there were a lot of things, but there were some good things our leader did. I recall when Senator Tiaya fought. Senator Tiaya fought Representative Zaza in VOSD, who were just coming out in the feed. I was there that day. You know, his hall was just opposite the radio station. And when he came back, and you know the astonishing thing when Senator came back, the crews, his supporters, celebrated him and called him Nelson Mandela. I recall when he was coming back that day, you know, the people got up, they attached the name, signed Nelson Mandela. You know, I also recalled when Otome Romeo Kuya took power. Remember when he caught the street, Ifeanyi Hutz, Mississippi Street, that historical street. He caught the road. He said, I know water was setting Ifeanyi Hutz, so he had to face the horse. That street was unused for a year plus, right? And a lot of things happen, you know, good and bad ones from our past leaders. I don't want to talk much on the present. They are still in leadership. They have some bad times. They have some good times. They are trying to ensure that Sinoe get better. They are also having some bad times. They are making some bad decisions. They are making some good decisions. They are making some good steps. But overall, I mean, we're getting somewhere.
All right, let me come in here. All right, Tababa, welcome back. It's my turn. So let me rock the boat. I know you guys sometimes you speak, you want to be politically correct and do different things. But I'm the spokesperson for the elders and the ancestors and the people of Sinoe County in general. And so I shake the boat if possible. I can rock the whole boat and scatter it. You know, so no specific order. We are just going randomly, and whoever comes to mind, we just take the person. So I will start with the political godfather of sagacious, Creighton Duncan, and send the man Dodge Duncan. So I will start with Duncan. Creighton Duncan was given the opportunity by the people of Sinoe County to be a representative. And one of the ways in which you judge the performance of a lawmaker is the number of bills they sponsored, how they provide oversight and do different things. What they did and lobbying for funds to go to their county for things to be done. Senator now or then Representative Creighton Duncan, he was the representative for, so to speak, the capital city of Sinoe County, Greenville District. And so one would have thought that on his watch, Greenville District will have a better appearance. And I mean, I'm not just making things up. I mean, if you look on the internet, there are a lot of articles there that said things about Creighton Duncan, how he took companies over there, and he had 12% in the companies, and the people of Sinoe County, I don't know what they got. Yes, the care companies there, our people did not benefit. No jobs, no hospitals, no clinics, no schools, nothing in Sinoe County. You know, no law that, I mean, maybe right now, Sigesha will point at the law that Creighton Duncan sponsored as representative for 6 years, but nothing to that effect for 6 years. I don't see any law from Creighton Duncan. All right. So if you judge the guys from the cliche lawmaking, oversight, and representation, the people of Sinoe County, it was a failure for Creighton Duncan in that context. Now, when you come to politics and you come to, because they do political projects when they want to be re-elected, did he build a chicken hut he called bus station? Of course he did that. But is that the problem the people of Sinoe County have? A bus station where people don't have jobs? where no schools in the county, and you're building bus station. So I don't see that as development. I don't see that because I want more development. Because once you empower the people, they will build house, they will build whatever they want to build. So when you turn your back and you start to build chicken huts and you call it bus station, and you carry old bus, you call it school bus, just so that the people can vote for you. So those are political. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about political projects, and that's what I'm talking about. Things that in terms of law, that would change the lives of the people systematically. I don't see something on the part of Creighton Duncan. When you come to, say, for example, the late Senator Maputo Nyepa, I thought he did something substantial that we can count on. All right, sponsoring a bill to have a community college for Sinoe County, that's a good thing. If other leaders come and they build on that, and they improve it from community college to a university, that will help Sinoe County. So those are the kind of change I'm talking about. Education. So there was no community college when Senator Nyepa came, and he was one of the guys that co-sponsored the bill that gave her the community college. That's a good thing. The tribal fight in the county that went on, is it a good thing? No, it harmed the county. But that was orchestrated by Milton Tiaji, because that's the only way he thought that he could buy the sentiment of the crew, because they are in the majority. It's all about politics for Milton Tiaji. It's not about development. It's not about togetherness. So the late Senator Nyepa, that's a positive for him. Yes, I don't see a lot of bills from him as well. Maybe I'm not doing my research better, but I didn't see a lot of bills from him. But that's a good thing on his legacy that I think I can reference. But I think he did something as well. Tubabo mentioned that on the watch of Milton Tiaji, a lot of funds that went to the county. So that is, he was lobbying for his people. So that's something that he did that we can also reference. So from that angle, from the two things that I just mentioned, lobbying for funds to go to your county for projects to be undertaken, and sponsoring a bill for the establishment of community college, we can say Senator Nyepa was a good senator, was a good leader for Sinoe County. Now, when we come to my colleague who represented District Number 2 before Nambisla, I don't see anything from him, so I don't want to waste time on him. He was a political failure for Sinoe County. Nambisla, myself, I don't see nothing from Nambisla as well. He's so rest in peace, and so is Senator Nyepa. He was a failure for Sinoe County as well, because first when he came, he liaised himself with Milton Tiaji, and they were pillaging the people account. They were enjoying the people money, and stuff of that nature. And later on, they went apart, and he went in political bear with Creighton Duncan. And Creighton Duncan too is not in the interest of Sinoe County, at least from what I'm looking at. Honorable Zaza, when it comes to him, a lot of the time people calling, he's a tribalist. I don't think Zaza was a tribalist, or he just, I'm saying was when you are in power, right? And he's not a tribalist. You see, when you are a leader of the people, and another leader is trying to marginalize, and you don't say something, they will say that we all are quiet. So Mr. Zaza was fighting against the marginalization of the Sapo by Tiaji, or the oppression of the Sapo by Tiaji. So I don't see Zaza to be a tribalist or somebody who believes in confusion. He was just supporting what is right, because the senator represents, or the superintendent represents, all the people in the county. So when the superintendent or the senator is suppressing certain people and all the leaders are quiet, it says something. So Zaza was doing the right thing and saying, you know what, TJ, you cannot suppress the people because you are not from there, So Zaza was a good leader when it comes to that, because he was seeking everybody's interest. He was not only seeking the Sapo's interest, he was seeking all the citizens of Sinoe County interest. When it comes to law, you see, Zaza was in the lower house, and the likes of Yipan and what's the name? The other lawmaker, Senator Nambe. What's the full name? Tribal, are you there? The two guys are frozen.
Senator Joseph Nambwe?
Joseph Nambwe, yeah. When Joseph Nambwe and Nippon were in, I will give that credit to Nambwe as well. The establishment of the community college, it was through the work of Nippon and Senator Nambwe. You know, so they did well in that part. But when it comes to tribalism, Senator Nambwe was also very tribalistic. You know, he was one time supporting TIJ in the tribal fight. He drew a line between the Sapo and the crew, so he was inimical. He was inimical to Sinoe County. You know, but Zaza, when it comes to, again, the community college, I give it to Nambwe and Nyimpa. But when it comes, because there are two horses, so the bill was sponsored by the upper. It started from the upper house, which is the Senate, and it came down to the lower house. So Zaza temporarily served as chairman on education, and Benson Balu was pro-education. He expedited the passage of that bill, which gave us the community college today in Sinoe County. So that we can give to Zaza, you know. When I mean, he sponsored a law to eliminate payroll, party, and those different things. You know, that's a bill he sponsored. But those laws are not being enforced. So right now, the argument of payroll, party, I don't think they are coming back. But Zaza got a bill to that effect. You know, so I mean, so when it comes to legislative projects, if you talk about schools, TJ himself verified that Zaza was the first one that built high school outside the capital city of Sinoe County. So when you see the opposition supporting the prison an opponent, that speaks a lot about him. So Zaza, when it comes to education, he did a whole lot. Another school in Pinetown, the first high school in Billable Creek, and when you were even minister, you refurbished the Sinoe Model Lateral and those different things. So I thought, and when you look at all the leaders, Zaza was a very good leader for Sinoe County. I mean, he gave a lot of students academic scholarship and those different things, you know. So, I mean, I thought Zaza was good. Sonny Boy Noah, we can give it to Sonny Boy Noah when it comes to putting Chinese in over a few horses for him to get elected. You know, that we can give him. You know, he's good. But when it comes to managing our port and running the port of Greenville effectively for it to, I mean, generate, I mean, a copious amount of jobs for our people to get employed or good quality jobs, he failed. Sonny Boy could not even renovate or put zinc on top of the buildings at the port of Greenville. That whole place was left dilapidated, you know, before going to the House of Representatives. And up to now, Sonny Boy Noah has not even proffered one bill. You know, he been there coming to a year or more. He been to the United States multiple times. He cannot even go anywhere to lobby for the people of District Number 3, where he represents. Romeo Kuya, again, the same thing. Romeo Kuya, when you were superintendent, him and TIJ, they were indicted. Did he do some work in the county? Yes. I mean, I think he built the superintendent quarters and those things. But my thing is, when you build for superintendents and those big guys, you are not there for the big guys. You are there for the little people. So the little man, what does he get when you build a superintendent quarter? Nothing. Our people benefited from his watch. The two of them, they were indicted for corruption. And now he is now in the House of Representatives. He has not sponsored a bill. At least I have not seen it. The other day he came and said he sponsored a bill for something. He said, I can't remember exactly, but he said he sponsored a bill, but I've not seen it in the news. I'm not going to take a politician word for it. You got to show me the evidence, you know. So that's Romeo Kuya. For Senator Augustine Chie. Senator Augustine Chie too is one of those tribalists. You know, he does not look at issue. People that are competent, that have the requisite experience to do the job. You know, he supported TJ last election, and he knows that TJ was polarizing the people of Sinoe County. COVID time, TJ will get on radio and just attack people instead of talking about how we can save the people of Sinoe County, how we can protect them from the virus. He running tribal politics, and Senator Clinton, I mean, Nambwe was supporting him. Augustine Chie, as you said. Augustine Chie is in your corner. I don't know what bill he has sponsored. I mean, maybe after this point, Lester will come to give us some bills that he has sponsored. But Since Augustine Chia is another guy in there who says he's a lawyer, but he cannot even sponsor one single bill. One law has not been passed into law. He was elected for the second time. Before he was even elected, no legacy in Sinoe County whatsoever. He said he gave a personal property for vocational school. I don't know what happened now. We don't see anybody graduating from vocational school in Sinoe County. I mean, he admitted, wrote a post one time, he has domestic servants, which is a fancy way of saying he has slaves in his house. In the 21st century, he had domestic servants. Those are his words. You know, so when you make my people of Sinoe County domestic servants, and you say you're a good person, no, you are not. You are repeating the history of the American Liberians. They make our people horse boys and horse girls and get men. That the only job to get, they will give the people. Augustine Chia as well fired young guys that were working with him that campaigned for him. He fired them because he wanted to reduce their salaries, and the church said no. Because he said he wanted to compensate people that campaigned for him. So he wanted to deduct from the $25 the children were making so he can support, give something to his supporters. And the children said no, and he fired those people, Maya Kolo and those guys that campaigned for him. So Senator Augustine Chia is a detrimental, is deleterious to Sinoe County. I mean, let me give another person the opportunity. I can go on because I am the encyclopedia of Sinoe County. I know those guys like my ABCs. So one of you can come in.
Yeah, so Doug, thank you. I listened to you very well. I'm learning some of the things of our leaders. But you care to also tell us that Hozaza, for his 12 years of existing electoral district, what can you point out in San Juan district, for instance? Are you aware that the only high school that is existing in San Juan district was built by Representative Duncan, but then he wasn't a senator? Now that is situated in Tobasville, that he paid the school fees for all the students from 10 to 12 grade.
Is San Juan in district number 3?
Yeah, San Juan is in district number 3. Probably you're not familiar with your own district.
Okay.
Probably you are not familiar with your own district.
I want to be clear, just go ahead.
but asking me suggests that you're not familiar with your own district. So you care to tell us that since on Hozaza, he 12 years of existence, what can you point out, for instance, in San Juan district?
Is TGN
but you are proud
for San Juan? TGN is in San Juan, right?
No, yeah. They may tell you America. TGN is electoral district.
That district number 1 you go to.
You got me on that one. You got me.
Is district.
District number 2. Where district number 2?
All right.
So fair enough. All of our leaders have their own good side and the bad side. Right? All of our leaders have their own good side and the bad side. Do you say carry students by buses to school? You say it's not essential? Do you know the transportation responsibility that those buses put on our parents' head? Do you know how we encourage students to go to school? You know how many students were encouraged to go to school? Are you also considering the fact that the senator is building another school in electoral district number 2? Are you also considering that fact? So, like I said, fair enough. All of our leaders, they have their own good side and a bad side. For example, Senator Chia, Senator Chia is constructing a school that is being completed now. I saw the photo in government camp, which is in electoral district number 2. Is he contributing to the educational sector of that district? Yes, he's contributing. So all of our leaders have the good and the bad side. I listen to you. You praise the Hozaza, praise the Hozaza, and there was some negative things on Hozaza. How can you attribute Sinoe Motolacho? So what would the minister be saying? What would the government then be saying? So when you serve as minister, the work just go to the government. So what will your bosses be saying? What will your bosses be attributing as their contribution then? You say you establish Motolacho. What will your bosses be saying? What will the minister be saying? What will the government be saying then? So all the leaders have their own good side and their own bad side. All right, I think that's what I gotta say. Patrick, hello, boss man.
All right.
Yeah.
Patrick,
So
Patrick, before you come in, Trouble, go out. I'll give you 2 minutes and don't bring Patrick so and say he come in so you can say a little more. Go ahead.
why are you restricting my meeting? Anyway, no problem.
No, because you spoke
No problem.
first.
So,
You spoke first.
thank you, Dad. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Dad, and thank you, Sagashos, for some of the input you just made. And that's one of the things I want to say to to Dad. You see, this show is a public show, it's an international show, and you'll be the CEO and the host. If you want to have many followers, if you want to have people always appearing here and making the show to really be what it is, then you need a little bit desentimentalize a bit from especially so when it comes to dealing with issues of people who are close to you. What do I mean by that? It's not possible you will not have one human being who will be flawless. There is nobody under the sun that won't have a problem. There is no leader under the sun that won't have made error. During the time of service. That's why when you leave in service, you say, "I'm sorry to those who my action or inaction might have affected," because there might be other things you do, and to you don't think it's harmful to another person, but that person sees that as being harmful to them. And there will be other policies or decisions you will make that you think in your mind is the right decision, but other people see it to be harmful to them. So during the service of on Rosaza, on Rotiaje, on how you call it, or when Kuyo, or Grace Period, or Professor Brown, or D. Namuji, as Superintendent of the county, and representative of the J3, they all have mistakes they made. They all make mistakes. They all did do well in other areas. And Rosaza was more focused from my analysis about his 12 or 11 years. He was more focused on policy issue, that has to do with lawmaking, that has to do with or the creation or the operationalization of 2 additional districts in the area, that is the Siko and the Wakaba, because that bill was introduced by the late Nelson Waba, and he being the lawmaker after Waba, he decided that Waba dream should not die because it was in the interest of his people. And so he started from there and he made sure that Siko and Wakaba operationalized. So that also contributed to employment, that also contributed to the authority of the county having additional 2 districts created. But our voters, let me tell you something, that if you observe our Liberian politics, our Sinoe politics, our voters are moved by quick impact projects. And you don't blame them because you have our voting populace that are not really educated about the thing we call democracy. They're not educated about the thing they call representation. They're not educated about the thing you call oversight. They don't actually know the real role of a lawmaker. And you don't blame them because we politicians over the years have failed up to current to educate them as to why they should vote us in offices. So we give them these quick impact projects. We go to the bank, we take loans, go to some friends, borrow money, and talk to a few organizations who know give us money, and then we just cash the money out. Say we're going to do things that they want to see now to give us power. And then after we get power, now we start to tell them that it is now a road to do this, it's now a road to do this, it's now a road to do this. But it's not a bad thing when a lawmaker builds school. It's not a bad thing when a lawmaker builds in the public latrine. But for me, I will not give you credit as a lawmaker on that alone. Because why? You are there to make laws that will enable Ministry of Education to build schools in all of your districts in the country without you going in your account to take money to build school. That's what you are there for. You are representing us there so that when they are discussing national budget, you will advocate strongly. You will not only advocate, but you will lobby to make sure that more money get in the budget for the Sinoe Community College. You don't have to take it from your pocket as a lawmaker. But a lot of the voters are not aware of that. You are there to make sure that the companies, the concessions in your county can contribute to the social development of your country as lawmakers representing the people. But they don't do that. And the people are not care once they get the money from their pocket to give them. So that's the issue. They are surviving on the ignorance of our people. They are surviving on the ignorance of the voters, and to perpetuate the same power. But our trouble will not see a lawmaker tell me, say, "Oh, I've been in junior high in our place." Because the first thing the school is building is sustainability. Why is the sustainability plan? How do you get it operationalized after it is constructed and turned over to the people? When you place it on the Ministry of Education, have you started advocating in the budget to have money in place to make sure that that school after it's completed, they will have staff there, and because if there are no staff, students will not go there. The baby will just be there. The baby goes be playing it. It's not a bad thing. It's good for development, but they will never run after their role. They will never perform their responsibility because the voters and are not educated to that. So that's why everybody will say they're doing well. For example, schools are about to open. I'm in the county Sinoe. I'm not seeing the buses on road dunking. And I'm told he took everything to Morovia. Did he take them for repair? If yes, how will they get out to the county down that the roads are bad? Will he put on a ship to bring it back so that next month the student will start using it? Or will he not come back again because he got it what he want? So these are things some of the voters they don't look after. What will happen if the man, lost a financial fortune and cannot anymore go and put her in your pocket to pay your school fees? So paying children's school fees is good, but it's not a solution. But creating job opportunity that will empower the parents for they themselves to continue to pay their children's school fee is the way forward for a better leadership. But they will say, "Oh, I pay 10 students school fee. I didn't want a lot because I didn't want." Those are interventions that you can still make while their parents are working, making money to send their own children to school. So they believe in giving handouts. Our people believe in receiving handout because they are not educated. So politicians survive on the ignorance of the voters.
Okay, Patrick, are you good? You're on mute. Yeah. Let me see.
I'm here now.
Yeah, you're moving back and forth. Yeah, I want you to get situated. You kept moving back and forth.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm okay now.
Okay, before you get going, I just want us to kind of get the viewers involved a little bit. They've been commenting, so let's look at some of their comments, and that will bring Patrick in to see what he thinks to reflect on the leaders in Sinoe County. So I think Elder Sua said police can raid. I think somebody put yourself on mute. I think I'm hearing myself, Patrick. All right, good. But let me put you on mute as well, if you don't mind. Yeah, maybe you can mute it from your side. It's not giving me the opportunity to do that. All right, Bible. Okay, good. So, Elder Sua said police can raid a gathering based on suspicion. And if I think he means to refuses to disband, then the police has to use force. I think when we were talking about it earlier, that's when he said that. What you say to that?
Any legal gathering to support the comment, he has a police car.
Okay.
So there's nothing to back that comment.
So Cogent said, Dage, what does drugs ban global to do with Liberia? The question is what needs to be done to mitigate the problem. So I think they were going back and forth with somebody on say what does drug ban global has. Okay, I think that's what you're referring to. Then Cogent is the one with the various shows start advocating for Sinoe superintendent to be selected by the people. Until this step is taken, all mothers of talk show will continue to reinvent the wheel. Okay. So he wants the superintendents to be elected by the people instead of being appointed. I think that's something we can put on the table for discussion next show. Elder Sua said, as for me, I will grade the entire Sinoe leadership as failure. Okay. None of them has ever opened any project to at least open employment opportunities for the youths of the county, as is done in other countries or counties. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a fair assessment, guys, to say of what the elders say here?
Well, let me
Patrick, go ahead.
So thank you, gentlemen. We have been on a lockdown internetally. We have faced disruption since in that last 48 hours. Notwithstanding, my assessment of the leadership of Sinoe is in two folds. One, we can look at the leadership first from the post-war era, the immediate post-war era. If you want to grade the leaders of Sinoe as ever being the best, you can grade the immediate post-war leaders as the best Sinoe has ever had after the pre-1980 leaders. Why? Leadership is driven by vision, especially in a post-conflict country. The late, Joseph Nambe, Mobutu Nyimpa, Timothy Davis, the late Waba, and former Representative Kamo, they were the 5 leaders that were elected in 2005. In 2005, the first thing the guys did when they came to power was to bury their egos, discard all form of trivialities in politics, and they look at the greater picture, the bigger picture for the country. First of all, how can Sinoe recover from the ashes of the war? How can the people rebuild their lives? That was the focus point. That was the major question, being debated. And the only answer they found was, okay, the only way these people can rebuild their lives, forget about the trauma of the war, and get on path, pay their children's school fees, their children's medical bills, and do everything for themselves, is to first revive the economy. We should tackle the issue of unemployment. When people are employed, they can fend for themselves, they can get anything for themselves. So those leaders, they went ahead to negotiate concessions for the county. And the very first concession that came to that county, the very first that ever hit that county was Atlantic Resources. Then you go see EPO, the Equatorial Oil Palm, and then GVL. So if you look at Sinoe today, people who have worked with GVL for only the past 10 years, they now have their own houses. Their children are in the best of schools, private and public. They are doing everything for themselves. In fact, they are the most independent, in fact, in the whole county. You don't want a job from anybody, even when they support you. For example, Chris Quarter, for example. I use Chris Quarter as an example here. Chris Quarter has been with GVL employed in a managerial position. Chris Quarter will go behind every politician in that county, for example, support you, give you everything you need, and then when you win, he takes nothing from you. He doesn't go to Monrovia to say, I want to go to school. He doesn't ask you to give him employment. He doesn't do anything. He remains with his job, and and your election or your defeat doesn't have any impact. It doesn't have any impact on him. So economic sustainability makes dependent. So the leaders at that time, they were not worried about 2006 to 2011. The late Mobutu Nyimpa did not build anything called a clinic, maybe out of personal aggrandizement to satisfy somebody, or a school building. His number did not do that. Jefferson Campbell did not do that. Timothy Davis did not do that. But they were using the budget. Ensuring that the budget was implemented. So they went to Bedokri, they built a few structures there. The Greenville, they built a few structures. They went across the county, Buta, other places, they built a few structures, and then the change came. So for me, I can grade them as some of the 5%. They were the best leaders I ever had, and they can never be forgotten, because when you look at GVL, you think of the late Mobutu Nyimpa. You still think of the late Joseph Nambe. You still think of Jefferson Campbell. You still think of the late Waba, and you still think of the late Timothy Davis. GVL alone. Not just all the companies, but GVL alone. They went and brought Hammerberg resources as well. Hammerberg was providing employment opportunities. They also went ahead to ratify the Putu concessions, which was the highest paying concession ever in Liberian history, in post-war Liberia, Putu INO. So you see, so the guys are relaxed. So when people come to you and say, so now, like some other people, when they say, Mobutu na mio, this is number na mio, Jefferson Campbell na mio, Timothy na mio, Moaba na mio, they can't give people money. That means they try to disabuse the people's mind to say, well, you don't need to depend on us, but rather go and work and make your own money. So they did their best, and they best. Now the pattern changed. The pattern changed when people started to see, when people started building their personal houses, and then people started grading them as best leaders. You go somewhere, you build a more house, then you plaster it, and people say you love development. You go to other place, you give people empty promise, and people say, yeah, you leader. You take people money, you take the county's money, you go so you make promises, you fulfill the promises to give credit to the county or the leaders who lobby for the money. People say, no, yeah, what's that development hero, this or that. But today, see it today now, the people have been shackled into believing that yes, trivialities and these hangouts, these personal projects mean well, and why in true essence they mean nothing. Today, for example, people used to say on J. Milton Church used to have the highest scholarship, 2,000 students. People used to come and boast on the internet, radio, say the senator got 2,000 students on scholarship, the highest in the history of Sinoe County. People boast of it. Do you hear of that anymore? How many of the students who benefit scholarship from some of the politicians, for example, have been able to go to Sinoe, create some little corporations? Okay, maybe let's say they learn in Pacific areas, they go back to Sinoe, for example, they create jobs. They create jobs out of the education. What is that? Nothing. So leadership after the post-war era, leadership in Sinoe has failed. Yes. The essence of representation, there's a guy, he became the longest serving congressman ever in history, John Didion. Yeah. He represents the 13th, 1st, 4th, 5th, over 7 congressional districts he represented in the U.S. All right, I think it was in Chicago or North Carolina, one of these states. He represented over 5 different or 7 different congressional districts. You know the reason why? He went into Congress in 1950s. I think it was in the 50s, and he retired in 2015. He retired in 2015, and when he retired, his wife succeeded him. People said, no, we can't let you go. You know the reason? John was not building schools. John was not providing scholarship. John was not building hospitals or clinics. John was not putting people in the streets. What John was only doing, John was holding policy makers account. Yeah, he was creating ideas, congressional ideas. He was some of the other agencies come. For example, the issue of clean water in the United States today is John Didian's idea, right? Because he believed that after the clean water should be a human right. And why there was no water in his state? What did he do? He summoned the agency responsible state. And because of that, because of the policy that he introduced in Congress acted on his recommendations after the committee appeared, provided water to his place, to his state, to his district, and then that policy became a national.
Yeah, probably he's frozen, so he'll come back. Let me see.
Clean air. His policy, I call it his bill on clean air. Today in the United States, the right to clean air is a human right.
Right. Patrick, let me bring Pablo in. So we can go to another topic. Pablo just left, but go ahead.
Yeah, the right to clean air. Everybody in the United States right now enjoys access to clean air. It was his making. So in Liberia, lawmakers oversight should be used. For example, oversight should be used to just if you need school in Bubadi, if you need school in Kajewan, if you need school in Jilek District, it is a right to call the education ministry. Why there is no
Probably let's bring you on. Yeah, Patrick, he reads a lot of American history, so he knows about a lot of lawmakers here. What's your take? Before we transition to something else, you are on. Okay, Pablo, go ahead.
Okay, so we're still on the same issue.
Yeah, let's wrap it up and move on to the last talking point.
Okay, thank you. So
I think you had your
Patrick
light
was
on earlier,
trying
so we could see you. I mean, you had some light on earlier, so it makes you look like visible. There you go.
Yeah. So Patrick, I've said his, and all I gotta say, we can also give some credit to Senator Tiaje and Romeo Quia administration for few of the things they also constructed during that time. Like you talk about the Superintendent compound. You talk about the renovation of the presidential palace. You talk about the James A. Green's post page. You talk about the Sinoe County Youth Center. And those are the ones that I have seen, and that when you come to Liberia, you want to see that I can show you. The other ones that are on paper, I cannot speak to them. People who have gone to the areas that they were built can better tell us about them. So they also have this. They also have the credit that we must give them. Like we said, all of the leaders are good, and all of the leaders have their negatives. You talk about the era from 2005 to 2011 be one of the best. Oh yes, I agree with you on that because at that time we saw lawmakers, our caucus were working as a unit, and as monies were coming to the county, their concern well where the money's going, projects EMI are implemented, reports are made in next of county setting meeting, and so but from 2011 coming up to this time, we see now our caucus is now more or less working like a unit. People want individual credit. Peter was saying, I do that one. I'm bringing this one. I will do that one. So when the caucus work as a unit, they can't share a lot of benefit. But when everybody wants to have their own their own glory at the day and want to see their friend condemned, want to see the other person doing nothing, so they will be seen as the only person. Then it becomes it becomes competition amongst the caucus against the county instead of competition with the caucus for the county. So basically, that's the kind of leaders that we have now. That's the kind of leaders that we have now. And you'd be surprised to know that one of the reasons over the time or in recent time I've understood why the issue of accountability in local government has been difficult. Because the very people, the very lawmakers who are supposed to be performing oversight responsibility, when monies come to the county, the very lawmakers, can sometimes follow the money to the county, and going to deal with superintendents. That's where the noise always comes from. And watch me. Take this. Record it today. Today is August.
The 22nd.
22nd. And today is 22nd of August, 2024. Today, Thursday. Watch it today. After the first county sitting of Sinoe under the new administration, the noise will start between the caucus and the local authority. You know why can always start the noise? It's the money. Because the local authority headed by the superintendent, at the end of the day, is the one that is responsible to generate report. And the report that will be generated should align with expenditure, projects, undertaking, and blah, blah, blah. So if you come to, if a county has 100,000, for example, and you as a caucus is telling the superintendent or the local leader that of the 100,000, you want 40,000 now, you want 30,000 now, you want 20,000 now. Want it for what? So if the superintendent decides to ask about, how do I justify this money if I go there? They say, you are the superintendent, find a way to justify it. If you say no, it becomes a problem. That's why you see most counties, they don't have county sitting. Because the lawmakers always use it as a way of strangulating county superintendent or the local authority of a county will make sure that no money go to that county since the fix say, they don't blah, blah. And their focus is now, what will we do with this money to develop our country? What can we do with this money to develop our districts? What can we do with the money to make sure that we're getting on par with other counties across the bureau? That most times not a concern. Watch me. After our first county sitting under the new superintendent Peter Yinswa, when you don't hear the other representative can speak, or hear other senator not talking, anything I tell you about Sinoe County, next time, don't believe me.
Okay. All right. So before we transition,
instead of them going out there to put money in the budget, to lobby, to increase the budget, come again.
No, I said before we transition, let me give a quick end your thoughts, and then I'll just give my thought. We'll go to the next thing.
Yeah. So my thought is that what other lawmakers do when they're being made in the house there, they lobby with their colleagues. They lobby with their colleagues to increase, Ministry of Health budget, so that through that they will have a clinic in Sinoe, or so that more medical supplies will go to the county. They lobby with the Ministry of Education to increase their budget, so that the education system in Sinoe can get armchairs for the children to sit down, so that they can get teachers in the classroom, so that the volunteer teachers will get on payroll. Those are things some caucuses are doing as a unit. But our caucus individually is working behind the scene as to one will get to go build a personal house in one district, and they say they made that development. They made that development. That's the kind of people we have. So until they can start working as a unit, until they can start thinking as a unit and start thinking Sinoe, we might just have another caucus for the next 6 or 9 years, and we'll still have the old Sinoe.
All right, but one thing that you agree with when Patrick said the post-war leaders, so the Kamo, the Joseph Nambe, the Nyepan, the Timothy Davis, and then he mentioned one Waba, I think. To understand, I don't want to agree with him holistically. Did they do some good things? Yes, but something specific that he mentioned was they carry concessions companies in the county. And those counties, those companies, they put the people to work. Is that true? Yes. Some companies went to the county. But my issue with that is those companies, they pay our people slave wages. All right? So I don't see it as a good thing. These multinational companies. Let me finish, then you will come in. Again, I always rock the boat.
I don't want to provide some clarity, but why?
Right.
Then I will come in. I just want to provide some information.
Okay. So some of these companies, they go to the county, the guys, they will make the deals, they go there, and these people pay our people little or nothing. They did not, also those companies, those roles, those resources that the people taking, they're taking our resources, they didn't pay any role for the people. No hospital for the people. No school for the people. Where the companies are operating, no electricity whatsoever, no clean water. Everything is total mess. So when somebody just say, oh, they carry companies to the county and they give people janitorial jobs and that's something to celebrate, I don't celebrate something like that. I want when you carry a company that the first thing you say, you know what, I want state-of-the-art roads. I want state-of-the-art schools. I want state-of-the-art hospitals in my area that you go and operate. I want state-of-the-art library for the children to have access to books to read and those stuff. But stuff of that nature. But somebody to go there and get, be bush manager, and they give you $30 or $75 a month, or sometimes you don't even get it. And somebody say, oh, that's a good thing. That is not a good thing for me, for my county. I don't see nothing in Sinoe County for no concession companies that went to agreements or those companies that they carry to the county. I don't see anything. Sinoe County looks at jungle still. The roads are horrible right now. Joseph Burger trying to rehabilitate the holes that are all over the place that CDC did not do, and stuff of that nature. So when somebody to praise those guys and say, oh, concession company goes there and people get palm cutting jobs, they can go use machete to cut palm branches. Come on, that's not anything. That's little or nothing. I don't see that is nothing. What I see as something is the fact that Nyepa and Zaza, they gave us community college for our children to get the first 2 years degree. And then later on, they can go somewhere else. But to carry a janitorial company over there to make our children janitors and gatekeepers, is that something? No, it's nothing. That is nothing. Like you write a measure, Zaza operationalized a district that opened economic opportunity for our people. It's employment. That is better, So that's what I'm talking about. So when you praise the people, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm thinking weird. And you accused me earlier, you say, which I don't mind, that one we had a conversation. You said, I should that's a word you desentimentalize my speech. That you see, Tubabu, it is hard when you love your people to take your emotion from it. Because you see what? If you are emotionless, guess what? You are a robot. I'm not a robot. I love my people and I put my passion, my emotion into what I say because I want to see the best for the people and not mediocrity and not janitor job. And somebody say, oh, Chris get bui manager join Sinoe, you can't borrow the people. Okay, how many Chris do we have? We get one Chris in a population of 100 and some more thousand people. Is that achievement? No. It is called tokenism. You get 1 or 2% something and people, the majority are suffering. I don't see that. So I like the indictment. I love my people. I will not get emotion out of it. Those of you that want to be emotionless, fine. But I will put my emotion into it because I love my people. I am the spokesperson for the people of Sinoe County, the elders and the ancestors. And they love me, and that's why they give me that joy. So I'm going to reciprocate that love to the people. If you have no emotion for somebody, you don't love the person. You are emotionless. That means you are an automaton, a robot. I'm not one. Go ahead, your turn.
The information I wanted to provide to you is that government is continuity. And when we talk about government being a continuity, it's not only the executive, meaning president, co-president, and no. But even the three branches of government that work together, government in its entirety is continuity. So the late Yimpan, the late Nangwe, the late Timothy Davis, the late Nelson Waba, and former Representative Javasi Kamo, they did their best. It's not an easy task to leave this country, go to Asia, negotiate with a company, convince them, bring them to Africa, bring them to West Africa, Liberia, and bring them to Sinoe to come and invest. And so the fact that they brought them doesn't mean that just the 4 or 5 of them were going to dictate the investment policy or the investment indicators of GV or no. The government has a role to play for it, and the government plays that role. That is, there should be a concession agreement. But before a concession agreement, there should be a location. Where do the people want to invest? That's where the Yimpans come in, the Nangwes, the Kamos, and the Davis, and the Bars come in. Where do you want to invest first? Sinoe County. Why is the cost of the investment $1.6 billion? What are you going to do? Agriculture, palm oil plantation. You get what I'm saying? So the specifics have been given. Now the government now and these people go on and table and discuss a concession agreement. What you will do for our country as our country, because it's not just now Sinoe County and that of GVO. It was the government of Liberia in its entirety and GVO. What you will do for our country, Liberia? We'll give you our land, 10,000 acres, 10,000 hectares, 1 day. All right, you do as what you do as what. After you have done with the government in general, with the concession agreement, then you come to the county. That we are Sinoe now, when you come to work and do what we call MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. You get what I'm saying? The MOU now, you will be committing yourself to the community directly that you're taking the land from. Okay, a community that you want to acquire the land from. Also, our people been doing farming here. They've been doing hunting. They've been doing this. This is how they've been living. Now you're coming to cultivate their whole farmland and plant palm, and they don't know anything about palm. So what would be the livelihood alternative you're going to give them, or the alternative livelihood you will provide for them? We'll give job, we'll give cleaning, we'll destroy the creeks and the water, we'll build hand pumps, we'll build schools, we'll do this, we'll do that. Now, The issue that has to do with the wages that you're speaking about, the decision when I was passed in 2015, the late Senator Yimpa left power 2014. While it is true, Senator Nabu was still there up to 2018. While it is true, when Honorable Zada came 2012 and joined, I wish that Waba has passed. Honorable Kamo left this district and came to Timothy district and got it out. So the only two old people that were in the only old lawmakers that were in the caucus after the decision when I was being passed from the Yimpa agreement was Nangwe and Kamo, Senator Nangwe and Representative Kamo. Now the new caucus members that joined on Rosaza, on my colleague Yeswa, excuse me, and Senator Tiaje needed to join Senator Nangwe and Representative Kamo to continue the fight. The decision when I has in a bowl that's supposed to be set up. And that bowl is called the minimum wage bowl. The minimum wage bowl. And that bowl is supposed to be appointed by the president. When that bowl is appointed and commissioned, it has a responsibility. It is the responsibility of that bowl to go to work and identify all the skill work in the agriculture sector, in the manufacturing sector, in the management sector, all the other sectors that falls under the labor ministry, because civil servants, as we are aware, are now under the Ministry of Labor and under the CSA, the Civil Service Agency of Liberia. So all those entities, all of those sectors that falls that the Ministry of Labor regulates when it comes to employment and wages and stuff like that, the minimum wage board will come up with a salary as per position and qualification, as per grade. It is that they will present to the legislature, and the legislature, after playing the part, it is after the president signed, them now will have a uniform salary as per position. Unlike the current law, labor law will have now only says, it only provides for unskilled people, unskilled laborers. And the salary, the wages that is provided there for the unskilled laborer is what? $5.50 minimum a day. $5.50 a day as an unskilled person. For domestic workers, it says $3.50 a day. $3.50 a day. And as the law says, it's 68 cents per hour. If you have to be calculating overtime for a person, 68 cents per hour. Domestic person, $3.50 per day. Unskilled person, $5.50 per day. Which if you calculate and you know at the end of the month, you might be having $143 as a salary. You might pass $143 if you work overtime. You might even go below for $143 a month, depending on the days you work in a month. But the decision went out of the labor law does not spell out salary for skilled people. So that's why what the concessions near the employers are using it to their advantage and to the disadvantage of the ordinary people. What do I mean? They feel since you know trade or you are educated man or you are a skilled person, once they pay you $200, $250, even $180 above the minimum wage, they in their mind they feel that they pay you as a skilled person because there is no law on the book as to how much they should pay you as a power saw operator. There is no law on the book as to how much they should pay you as a pickup driver, light-duty driver. No law on the book as to how much they should pay you as a yellow machine operator. So they use their discretion above the minimum wage. Because if they pay you below the minimum wage, the law will hold them. Because the law says $5.50, $143 a month. So why are you giving them $120? Why are you giving them $90? Why are you giving them $80? But anything that falls above the minimum wage, it's difficult to be, difficult to be one in court as a case against the company because there is no law on the book. So that's what I'm saying. We cannot squarely blame those who bought the company, and today our people are still making less salary. But the government itself has failed to take responsibility. Because even the concession agreement of GVO, it has in it that after 5 years of operation, 90 to 95% of the expatriate, the Asian workers, will have gone back to the country after they have trained Liberians or Sinoes who can also do the job, and the local managers, Sinoe Liberian, will take over. Now, if you go to GVO, you will still see over 30, 40, 50 to 60 expatriates working with GVO. When they concession agreement and spell it out that after 5 years, the black manager should take over. While it is too little effort being made, yeah, a few black managers, few farm managers, this and that, but you still have close to 100 expatriate GVO. So what are they doing? We have gone over 10 years. In fact, we have gone close to 14 years because GVO came in 2010. From 2010 to 2024, that's 14 years. And they consider, so our lawmakers are the ones who's supposed to be awakening these instruments. They're supposed to be reading. Most of the MOU GVO signed with communities, most of the MOU have expired. Some are not expired, but things that should be done, the time given in this MOU have passed and nothing has been done. But who's supposed to wake it up? The lawmakers. So lawmakers have abandoned their duties and responsibility and have come to just go into the account, take 5,000, take 10,000, you are putting like $1 $1 million, $2 million, and go to the people and marry me with it, and they say they empower the people. But what the right thing that they should be doing that will have a substantive mark on the people is what? Oversight.
Okay.
So we cannot hold them responsible for GVO. The current leadership has a role to play on that.
Baba, let end on this note. The last two talking points were kind of postponed to our next show. We hit 3 o'clock already. So I just also we talked about the protest earlier, right? And we went back and forth on it. So there's a statement from the government. I want us to read a statement for our viewers so they can know the cause of the police intervention. All right. So that's a statement on the screen there for you. I don't know whether you can read it, but I'll read it from my device here. Except
you zoom it in where I can see it clearly.
Yeah, I can do that right now. I just pissed it if I can zoom it. But I'll just read it from my device here.
Okay,
it says Republic of Liberia.
If you please share with me after the show.
Okay,
after the show, please share with me,
Okay. So it says Republic of Liberia, Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, PO Box, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia, and all of that. This is statement by the government of Liberia. It's Monday, Monrovia, Thursday, August the 22nd, 2024. Early this morning, the Liberian Drugs Enforcement Agency, LDEA, in an attempt to execute a search and seizure warrant at an identified property, at an identified property in the small town community around the Bernard Beach vicinity, received resistance from some community members that led to the LDA personnel pulling out of the community. It goes on to say, as a result of the resistance, several LDA personnel sustained injuries and are currently being treated at the John F. K. Medical Center. After the LDA pulled out, individuals believed to be members of the Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, blocked the free flow of traffic, setting roadblocks, igniting tires, and pelting stones at vehicles and pedestrians on Todman Boulevard near the party headquarters. Several vehicles were damaged and innocent citizens as well as law enforcement officers were injured by rocks thrown from the direction of the party headquarters. To restore law and order, the Liberia National Police, LNP, swiftly intervened. The Joint Security also states categorically that no lethal weapon was used. Okay, no lethal weapon was used. The government clarifies that the LDA search and seizure execution was not intended for it target the headquarters of the CDC. Okay. The Joint Security affirms its commitment to the rule of law and protection of our democratic principles. The security forces will continue to perform their duties with professionalism and integrity, ensuring that individuals enjoy their rights in a safe environment. The government also urges everyone to refrain from violence and carry on with their normal activities. In another development, the government of Liberia's attention has been drawn to a story published in today's edition of the Front Page Africa newspaper titled "To Raid or Not to Raid." The government of Liberia categorically denies that it or any of its agencies ever requested or sought to obtain a warrant to search and seize the home of former President Weah. Okay, the government emphatically states that the story established or published in the newspaper about a supposed plan to search and seize the home of the former president is false and without any truth. The case in question, the Gracious Raid case, is currently before the Supreme Court. The prosecutorial arm of the government is the Ministry of Justice. And if there are any questions, indictments, or warrants of arrest to be issued, they will derive from the Ministry of Justice. Front Page Africa did not seek any verification of the story from the Ministry of Justice. Additionally, the legal advisor has not sought nor been involved in any warrant contrary to the Front Page Africa story. The government of Liberia has called on Front Page Africa to retract and correct its sentimental or sensational and unverified publication, as it could lead to a dangerous national security situation. All right, so this was signed by Jeremy Matthew Pierre, Minister. Okay, that was the statement. I just wanted to read and to know why the police intervened, So it was stated in the communication. The LDA that went somewhere Yeah, go ahead.
So thank you. So thank you for the communication and thank you for the reading, and I listened to you very clearly. And I just want to make 3 comments on that. First, let's use our deductive reasoning, because that's the government statement that they have made. Mm-hmm. They went to do search and seizure in a facility of a building that does not belong to the CDC or not in the compounds of the CDC. Mm-hmm. And they got resisted from some community dwellers. And the LDA sustained injury and decided to leave. So how did the CDC come in?
So
how
this
did
is
the CDC
what
come in? There was no interaction between the police or the DE and CDC. There was nothing. They don't enter the CDC compound. So after community dweller attacked them, they left. CDC started blocking road. It doesn't make sense to me. That's one. 2, Gerald Limepia can always run under his shadow. That is the Minister of Information. If you know the government was coming up with with a position on this, it should have kept a martial law, and until the press statement issued, they will know the government have a independent voice. But now listen, their government who released this statement, especially the Gerald Limepia who signed this statement, was not present on the scene. They might be the situational report given to them by the LDA and the LMP. The independent media institutions that were present. Their stories are different from what Jeremy Limepia is saying. So yes, the government will always have to clear us out. The government will always have to put on defense. The government always look for somebody to shift the blame on. But the only part of it that I'm happy about is the fact that they say everybody going about their normal activities and nobody should be panicked, because that's not even what we want for Liberia. That's not what we want for our country. The police should try as much as possible to always, at every time, maintain high level of professionalism. Have they released the King George report? The police officers that use the live bullet, where are they? Have they forwarded the code for prosecution? Have they said anything about it? They were not sedition. In fact, seditions are not many in Cape Town, because the election results will tell you. So when they went to Cape Town and killed the people at that time, when the police killed the people, have they come out to tell the public what happened? Or was the police also right to kill the people, the peaceful protesters? So the government always made a kind of statement, so we are not surprised that Jeremy Limepia signed this and said it. But we are in Liberia. There's people that believe they are people who are out of Liberia because they don't know what is happening here. We are here. We know that that statement was fabricated. But what we want is that peace is what we want. And we should always, at all costs, be able to do things professionally as a supposed professional people as police or LDA. That's what I can say to that.
Okay, but probably my thing, I like your analysis, but the issue I have is you accuse the minister of not being on the scene. But now you are not on the scene too, but then you are... Hold on now, Pablo, hold on. You said the minister wasn't on the scene, and so the statement was fabricated. But you two, you are not. You are all the way in Sinoe County or whatever you are, and you are questioning the...
Follow front page. Follow front page. Follow Spoon TV. Follow OKFN News, and come back to me on our next show and tell me what.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, my point I'm trying to make is, the point I'm trying to make is, some of those media outlets, they can tweet, say for example, they refuted what the newspaper reported, for example, that George Weah, I think they're saying we're going to seize the property and those different things, and the government just refuted that. But where I want to agree with you, right?
I think they can trust Spoon. I think they can trust Spoon FM because Spoon helped to bring them to power.
Okay,
so
but let me end my thoughts. I'll let you to end. So, where I agree with you when you say we should use our deductive reasoning, and I think that's a word that was used in the communication when they said after the LDA pull out, individuals believed. They don't know, so they say believed. So it's not a fact. So then that raises question. Why are you using believe? Why you can say we know? You say believe too. So it's the conjecture. You are guessing. You know what I'm saying? So you don't establish the identity of the people. But that being said, probably it was a wonderful conversation, and let me give you an opportunity to give you a closing thought, and we can come back again next Thursday.
Thank you. My closing thought is Liberia of a peace. From the very beginning, if you follow my personal page, when the indictment came up for Samuel Toye, Javazi Kamo, and the rest of the people, I was one of those who said I support accountability, because I believe that no one political party was funded in this country for individuals to lick in the government cover and immediately get protection from our political party. No, that's not what for me I joined a political party for. So my association with the CDC will not make me to support people who the government feel by have defrauded the cover, and I say I'm going to defend. No. So my position on this whole protest is not because I associate with the CDC, no, but it's because I know since Gregory Coleman came back to the policing, something I lost. And he's no more the Gregory Coleman I used to know doing at any time, from the King George saga, from the Bureau of saga, from the rehab situation, and I have some doubt about maybe he's not making his own decision this time around, but we're only accountable because he's the police director. And so peace is what we want. Let us forget about political intimidation. You are the president, Mr. Bwaka. You know the party, you are the government. Govern all of us well for the sake of peace and for the progress of our country. Thank you for always having me on this show, Diane. Thanks to all those who follow in today.
All right, have a good day, man. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora with Esoteric and the panelists. Will be back here next Thursday again, beginning at 12 p.m., which will be 4 p.m. in Liberia, to talk more issues. We have other hot topics that we did not cover today because of time constraint. And we want to say thank you for joining us. Like Bible said, we want peace in Liberia. And we also urge the citizen, it's not the sustenance of peace in Liberia is not only just the government, the citizens too, they have the role to play. You can't just go about doing anything and you don't expect the government to act. Your behavior will determine the reaction of the government. If you act accordingly, the government will not intervene. They will not use any force. When they give you an order, you have to obey the order. But if you want to challenge the authority of the government, of course, there will be, use of force. That's why they have the use of force model. It got steps. When it gets to a certain level, then of course they have to be physical force used. And that's what happened today. We hope it doesn't continue. We want to say sorry to those that got injured in the process. People got hurt, and we shouldn't do this to ourselves, you know. But without further ado, I want to say again, thank you for joining us, and we want to close with the queen of traditional music, Marie Napo. Join us next time.
Boy.